My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. It is Sunday, March 6, 2022, and I have captured on video what is the light source. This is the fake sun. This is ongoing demonic activity while criminal conduct is underway. That is federal stalking. And as I have captured it as the light source remaining over me at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, which I captured this morning during the 7 o'clock hour. And it has remained over me while I'm at the library at 7:49 a.m. I'm at the Ontario Town Square, and it is currently 11:05 a.m. where the fake sun remains over my head. And this is where the Ontario police are participating in what is called Farmers Market, where the pattern of conduct is underway. 7D CE 109, 5AAK 736. And by the way, the entity that I documented last night, that is the demons that are the Ontario police that were pacing back and forth. That is stalking while I'm at the intersection of Holt and Euclid Avenue last night in vehicle 1006, then 1003, then 1027. This is the same Ontario police vehicle, which I already captured an image of earlier today. And the fake sun is over me here while they are engaging in the pattern of conduct with the people of the state. They're doing nothing other than calling it the farmer's market. The fake sun is remaining over here. It's 11:05 a.m. It's the same thing when you're at the Upland Public Library. They're calling it what is an ordinary day. It's nothing ordinary about it, and this is the maintenance for hours. Captured video at 7:49 a.m. The fake sun remains here. This is the same vehicle that I documented last night engaging in terrorism. This is the police department engaging in federal stalking with demons such as 7D CE 109, who was repeatedly touching with directed light while they're crossing path under the fake sun that's remaining over the property of the Ontario Town Square. The Ontario Town Square is the same property where the fake sun is. As I'm capturing it this morning, it's in the same position in the afternoon at 3:40 p.m. and at 5:12 p.m. it's in alignment with me, where I'm sitting at the same large clock, where that is the entity maintaining the light source. And this is documentation, when you take a step back, from 7:49 in the morning till 5:12 p.m. and it is remaining over my head for these series of hours since arrival on video at 7:49. By the way, it's 157-6657. That's Ontario Police. It is currently 11:06 a.m. and you have the ongoing pacing. They're walking around at the farmers market. They're walking around. The farmers market is nothing but the Ontario Town Square. So the people of the state, demons, are just walking up and down, sitting at the benches, maintaining presence, group stalking at the venue. 8KPW 209, PWL 4406, that's Texas. 8ZVE 101, that's a demon with directed light onto you've already shown you the Wells Fargo. I've documented the Ovid family committee. It's the same exact venue. They are engaging in the same exact conduct. You have the Ontario police as though it's career day at the farmers market, holding up what is something on table for about crime prevention while they're engaging in criminal activity. 7WGE 633, license 7JXM 795. Now these are demons who are not patrolling around on the streets because I'm reading their license plates. 7FZT 464. You ship them out of the country if they're not natural-born citizens. I suspect they are not. They're engaged in surveillance and demonic conduct, patrolling around the C-turn circle, maintaining this activity around me, while the police department are monitoring while they're sitting at a crime prevention table under the fake sun and in directed light. 8HFL272, 8HBY534, and I captured a series of videos of what is the maintenance of the fake sun, as it is nowhere in Upland, California, not over the Upland Public Library, not over the property of the Upland City Hall while I'm standing outside at Arrow Highway and Euclid Avenue, not over the people's venue, because that's they're not present under any individual capacity. The people of the state that are at the address, I believe it's 536 Pearl Street, which I documented, 7HUG 912, and the entity engages in flying over my head at 10:02 in the morning with a not only is a fake sun over me, the entity engages in stalking by helicopter flying directly over, while Utiliquest is being a demon stalking in the path, just like these demons are driving by, molesting with directed light. That's at 10:02. I captured that on video as well. I'm sorry, not that particular. That is already published. I captured the fake sun remaining stationary hours later from 7:49 at 10:02 a.m. where I'm sitting at the Ontario Town Square, where I documented last Sunday. It is present in alignment with me at 5:12 p.m., 3:40 p.m. 8YCU 839. What I'm capturing at 10:02, you're going to remember, for example, let me give you a specific timestamp because, like I said, I've already documented this venue. 10:06 a.m. on January 22nd, 2022, the light source is remaining over me as I'm coming from the Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue. I get on the bus. I show you the fake sun as it is on what is the direction south because I'm facing the, I'm sitting on the Omnitrans bus. I'm facing south, showing the fake sun that's in alignment with me coming from that direction of Vineyard and Holt, while I am going what is west on the street on the bus, HCLY 980. The fake sun moves over the B&G Plaza. I get off of the bus, I walk to the Ovid Family Community Library, and I capture on video at 10:06 a.m. the fake sun that is right over the 280 North Limit Apartments at the direction I'm standing again, which is the entrance, following me to the venue, in other words, 17113B2. As I go to other places, I'm showing you what is that ongoing. That's an impossibility while I'm in Upland in front of what are the third-party facilitating venue on Pearl Street, fake sun over me. That's not the sun that's over 280 North Limit Apartment. It's also not the sun as it's literally following me, remaining over me as I go from Starbucks, remaining for hours, and then go to the Ovid. Nonetheless, at 10:02 a.m., the video is going. I remain here the same time. You're talking about what is remaining over me over the field at 10:02 a.m. from my time of arrival as I'm on the property, and is not over the 280 North Limit Apartments. This is what you're paying attention to. The light source is the presence of Satan, and these are the demon possessed. All right, and you have what are the demon-possessed agency, the Ontario Police, who are monitoring. They are engaging in, this is Sabrina and Officer Hernandez, who are not only sex offenders engaging in molestation, they're monitoring while they're sitting at a table that says crime prevention, stalking. All right. And they're doing so while these demons are molesting with directed light. As I'm reading their license plates, they're touching me with directed light. It's 11:10 a.m. and the fake sun remains over me. This is a demon coming from the Wells Fargo, which has surveillance cameras as well. It's documenting ongoing federal stalking. 7CTM 798. And the other Ontario Police vehicle where I documented Sabrina, license 1292457. Sabrina is the same sex offender who has multiple shadows inside of the state facilitating venue of the Ovid Family Community Library, as I documented in December of 2021. She was monitoring me while my panties were down. She was monitoring me with the rest of the Ontario Police Department who were present, communicating a threat with the Ovid Family Community Library in the same way they are now, stalking at the venue of the Ontario Town Square under the fake sun, monitoring and molesting with demons such as 6LRU448. That's the same Sabrina with OPD who was present stalking under the fake sun at the Ontario Town Square. It's currently 11:11 a.m. I did want to pause and capture what is the fake sun at 11:11 a.m. Officer Hernandez and Sabrina, that's federal prison. They're engaging in interstate stalking. They're engaging in what is facilitation with the people who are doing nothing other than maintaining relevant positioning under what is the fake sun that is not over the Upland Public Library and also over the Ontario Town Square. Also, you know that's not the sun because it's remained over for a series of hours at the same Ontario Town Square where I documented last Sunday. It's setting in alignment with me at the same property as well. This is the ongoing pattern of what is stalking with light. Sabrina is driving Ontario Police Vehicle 1292457. Sabrina is a sex offender monitoring with 7WJV851 and the entity that is amplifying plane activity via commercial airline planes who are concentrating their presence, amplifying it with 7PSP585. That's a demon that's stalking, that's licensed. While they are amplifying that audible activity, and these demons are maintaining presence at the farmers market. Okay, wherever I am, the P.O.C is underway. That's the significance of directed light. That's the significance of a fake sun. All right, and then you're understanding, I'm capturing these videos. These demons are literally waiting for me to put the camera on them, and you are talking about what is using children to appear sweet and compassionate. I told you demons are congregating in churches. You are talking about what are demons that have their babies in their car while they are molesting my person with directed light, a sex offender, a predator. There is no form for that. They are under what is directive. What controls is the demonic environment. 6STH098 is a demon, just like Officer Hernandez is a demon. 4ZXD890 is a demon and a sex offender, just like Officer Sabrina is a demon-possessed sex offender. Under what is the fake sun, which is direct evidence, it is literally the impossibility in every way you want to flip it. That you're talking about the arrival at the Fontana Lewis Library where I remain. I'm also at the same time, this is the same time of year and time analysis that I provided. In inside, which I captured right now, 11:11 a.m. The fake sun is directly over me while I'm inside of the building of the Upland Public Library. And then I'm documenting, again, I always document where I'm coming from and where the fake sun is keeping in alignment with me as I go to wherever it is I go. And then it remains there. That's what it's doing at the Ontario Town Square. I haven't gone anywhere. So you really see it clearly when you're talking about the beginning of the day. And I also documented its setting at this same location, 301-82Z1. They're all demons stalking together. 214-63H3, 8RSC437. You're talking about what are the people of the state who are speaking to the dangers that they pose to the very children that they incorporate in this demonic system. 8RSC437. That's the significance of that video, because they're demons monitoring, sexually violating, terrorizing together. Okay, you're talking about what is the fake sun that remains over me. They're monitoring and targeting an American citizen while together they are engaging in what is the outward form called the farmer's market. Okay, there is nothing that is in any way endearing or compassionate about that. You're talking about what is literally posture. These are demons who are focused on everything that I'm doing. Okay, she's turning around now. The camera's going to be on me now. So you talking about having children to be in front of the camera, which is absolutely irrelevant to what is the demonic environment. Children, as I've documented, the sex offenders in the private space, they're nothing but activity creators. Many of these children are demon possessed as well. You're talking about what is the uncanny ability to stalk with audible activity, engaging what is pacing around in engineered light. Let me be clear. You're talking about what has nothing to do with it's nothing endearing about it. You're understanding what is the malicious and the very terrorizing threat that the Ontario police are while I'm capturing this plethora of videos, that's federal prison. All right, you're engaging in what is blatant stalking and communicating a threat, and you're doing it at what is the farmer's market. That's called malice, and you're doing it with the people of the state. They're equally malicious, and they're all demons. This is demon possession. This is the demon possessed population. That's why the state is concentrating, by the way, commercial airline planes right here over the on the Ontario Town Square, where the fake sun is over me. And these demons are driving back and forth in the parking lot, directed light, just like I show you everywhere else, moving all around the cars, moving onto my person while they are pacing all around me. The fake sun over my head. So that's a video I just captured. All right, while you're looking at them cheesing and smiling, acting like they don't know about my presence, it doesn't matter what they act like. And the documentation of what is federal group stalking and monitoring, which is a satanic targeting system, is not based on a third party, a demon possessed stalker acknowledging you or admitting that they know that's not what it's about. It's about what is a state system. It is a matter of public corruption. It is occurring in what is plain sight. And that scientific impossibility is what is prefacing the intentional stalking conduct and what is grounds of federal prison. The Ontario police demonstrating that again and again. Last night, as this entity that's monitoring the documentation, vehicle 1006 is one where that demon, who I described as a male driving that vehicle, is pacing back and forth on the street, threatening with the people of the state. That's exactly what they're doing at the farmer's market. You're breaking down the conduct of demons, the character of demons. This is a threat. All right, and you're talking about what is doing so under what is the fake sun. All right, this is also terrorism, while that's not possibly the sun that remains over the Upland Public Library, not just over it, over the roof, and documented for a day, the duration of a day. That's what being captured in aiming through the window at 5:11 p.m. is about. And then you are here at a table talking about crime prevention while you're engaging in criminal conduct with the demons who you are monitoring me with. That's what the Ontario Police Department. Sabrina's going to federal prison. All right, Officer Hernandez, I recited his badge number in my video while he's under the fake sun monitoring with the minions at the farmer's market. He's going to federal prison. Understand that's what is necessary with regard to law enforcement engaging in this ongoing perpetuation of a threat. The government engaging in this sort of threatening conduct with the people of the state. They're demons. First of all, they're stalking, and you're one to engage in blatantly stalking while you're then at this point monitoring the documentation. Law enforcement shall summarily be subject to federal prison. All right, you are no longer in a position to engage in, unless you want to go to federal prison, threatening American citizens like that. You don't have a right to do that. You're threatening you're stalking, you're monitoring, you're doing so in a specific environment with these demons who are patrolling in directed light. License plate 8RHY814 BX119 handicap. This is the corruption of law enforcement. This is speaking to the infected status that are the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department. 7HRC573, demon patrolling. 5BHU306, a demon patrolling. 04074T1, demons that are patrolling, threatening with the state that's patrolling by aircraft. Those are demons engaging in the same exact relevant positioning, pacing above me in the airspace where the state's keeping a fake sun. This psychopath over here just walking back and forth with her freaking cell phone. She's out of her. These are demons, all right? And that's exactly why Ontario police are going to federal prison. The people of the state, they engage in threatening with that entity, you're going to federal prison. All right, so I want to be clear, it's 11:21 a.m. That's what the amplified audible activity is about. And I will document what are the people of the state that are stalking at this minion of this minion fest. It's a fest of minions, a festival for minions. 8RLZ845. And this is exactly what I documented with what was the Route 66. Same molestation with directed light. All right, they called it Route 66. It's the same P.O.C. and act of terrorism. Every single last one of those minions, including those who were singing at that venue, you're talking about what is a demon-possessed population. You will be prosecuted for that. I documented that already, and I said it then, and you're understanding what is the ongoing P.O.C. Doesn't matter what they call it. They're calling this farmer's market. They call that Route 66. It was a terrorizing act of surveillance and criminal conduct 8YGX 837, and doing so in concert with law enforcement. Alrighty, and it is 11:22 a.m. Mind if I just get your company name? This is security. Is it just called Event Secure?
Yeah.
Your company?
SMG.
SMG.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I just want to get that company name there. He is engaged in P.O.C. with the entity present in relevant position under whatever company name. It's the same with Securitas, who was present monitoring with the people, monitoring as the people at what is the venue where the fake sun is. That's why the fake sun is present over the venue. That's why it's present in an entirely distinct location, by the way, when I'm in Upland or when I'm in Fontana or wherever it is, including, by the way, while the state is keeping a fake sun over me at the Ontario Town Square, blatantly stalking with a light source, a scientific impossibility, not only based on where I'm showing you it's setting in the evening, where it's rising in the morning, and where it's remaining all day long. You're talking about what are steps away from each other. You're also talking about where I'm in distinctly different locations, 99840Y1. And there is no time where the state is engaging in that conduct that it is the actual sun, as I captured over my head in Pomona, California, or I'm at the Pomona Regional Transit Center, which I documented as a matter of video documentation for you to witness, as I'm documenting the minions of the Pomona Police Department. That very conduct, I'm showing you what is the P.O.C. Law enforcement are subjecting themselves, they are exposing themselves to what is, first of all, disbanding. They are infected, they are demonstrating demon possession, and it is necessary as a matter of you're talking about federal prison. License 99840Y1. This is the public corruption. This is how the system exists. And police officers thinking that you're going to engage in what is stalking, which is the communication of a threat while you're monitoring the documentation, and you are intentionally engaging in that. That you will be intentionally placed into federal prison. All right. And that's exactly what Pomona Police Department provided documentation of. That's exactly what they did. 8WKG 397. All right, and you're understanding what the Ontario Police Department are doing now. Again, on another day, there's a whole lot of them that are going to federal prison, and it is necessary. You're talking about what is embedded into society. And so you're going to embed it into the minds of these demons who are stalking, all right, CB2U, U57 paper plate, that you will be suffering what are very, very severe penalties, including federal prison. And that is indefinitely, okay? I mean, for a prolonged period. You're talking about any that intends to kidnap you and defame you and take your liberty. You're going to flip that, all right? You're not going to engage in intimidation. You're not going to engage in kidnapping and defaming your way out of justice. You will go to federal prison, period. And you are a threat to society based of, first of all, you are infected with not only demon possession, you're one that needs to be restrained, okay? You need medical attention, which in so many ways medication can't really touch that condition. It's those are the medical profession actually that are of that same condition that are not speaking to it. They'll call it everything else but what it is. By the way, 63834V1, but I want to speak to all the ways in which law enforcement, they will be going to federal prison. That's exactly what the Ontario Police Department are documented as engaging in, and that is exactly what that is grounds for. While the demon-possessed population engaging in what is surveillance and terrorism today, I'm calling it what is the farmer's market. It is the everyday ongoing pattern of conduct as I have revealed it. 70 SC 971 6G PS 582. And you have the threat, the unlawful threat posed by the people, CB2 OU57. They're going to get enough of that too, because they will find themselves in federal prison. That's exactly what you're going to 6AND036. That's exactly what you're going to respond with, where our government is intent on stalking you, placing you under surveillance with the government, and then thinking that they will obstruct justice and take your liberty or whatever else that the entity wants to try to take in order to avoid being prosecuted, documented, etc. 7YHX128. You don't have the freedom to do that, and you will not keep your freedom. In other words, you will go to federal prison. All right, and this is speaking to the necessity of that policy. 6ZDK882, 7RKR086. 6PHU 626, 7JES 836. And as I showed on video, as I spoke to, Securitas is present. This is the same res that engaged in criminal summoning, that's federal prison. 58000F2. That same res is working with Securitas. This minion creating prolonged light activity and is parked in what is directed light. The fake sun is over my head. CB20U57, that's a paper plate. 8JZG923, 8EXZ106, 8TBR772, 5NOZ723, 8ZDA280, 7YNY765, 8YKU282, 8HDH438, license plate 7JXM795, BF73S32, that's a paper plate. Metro 102 Apartments is monitoring. Ontario Town Square Townhomes is monitoring. 8HSG323. The 280 North Limit Apartments, Ontario Senior Housing Parter, they're monitoring. The fake sun is not over the edge of those apartments because I'm not standing at the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. I'm not inside of the Ovid Family Community Library. That's where you're also paying attention to. It's based on where I'm located. And that's why at 10:06 a.m. it's nowhere seen, even in any relative vantage point to what is the entrance area of the Ovid. It's right there over the Ontario Town Square where I am standing, not near the, relative to the edge of the 280 North Limit Apartments, as I document on January 22nd upon my arrival as the fake sun remained over my head. 5BGX342. 81357E3. Remaining at the Ontario Town Square is impossible to coexist with what is documented presence at the Pomona Regional Transit Center, 90120A1, where I remained for a prolonged period, hours. Okay, 7HRC573 on January 27, 2022, 6SSF323. It is mutually exclusive. It is not coexisting. In other words, this is not the sun as it remains over me today. And what I documented, it is the same. It's not the sun that was over me on January 22nd as I remain at the Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue. I would not be able to capture it hovering over the edge of the museum, and it's keeping in alignment with me as I then walk to what is the Ontario Town Square remaining for hours. As it's at the property, it is not over any vantage point, which would be west of the Starbucks, where I am at the Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue facing east. And I remain there for hours, and I don't get to the Ontario Town Square until 10:06 in the morning, which I showed on video. You see the fake sun moving west over the B&G Plaza, 59773S2, because it was not already present at this end of the street. That's why you see it while I'm on the bus moving in line with me. This is stalking with the fake sun. Law enforcement thinking that you will engage in this blatant stalking conduct in my face or in the ordinary targeted citizen's face, communicating a threat, you will find yourself in federal prison. That's exactly what Sabrina and Officer Hernandez have been documented as engaging in. That's exactly what the Pomona Police Department, you're talking about what is engaging in that pattern of conduct, 6XGH358. And that's exactly what they provided documentation of, and that's exactly what is necessary, and that's exactly what's going to happen. 7HRC573. So you're looking at the P.O.C. and then engaging in that communication of that threat in that environment while the entities engage in all manner of terrorism with hovering in commercial airline planes. And again, let me be clear, United Airlines, Frontier Airlines, Delta Airlines, engaging in what I captured on video, and repeatedly so while I sat at that on the side of that clock, where the fake sun is present at that, I'm sitting there in the afternoon. Do you understand how impossible with regard to this is a blatant threat by law enforcement? You go to federal prison for making that threat. That's called the impermissible threat. You already have no business engaging in interstate stalking. You already have no business engaging in law enforcement. You're a demon-possessed person. You're a psychopath. You think nobody knows it. It's known now. And then you think that you will stand in an American citizen's face and stalk them in plain sight with the people, the demon-possessed who surround, engaging in that conduct, and you're going to sit, no, I don't think so. You're going to federal prison. You're understanding that, you see that malice, and you see the grounds for that. It's necessary as a matter of justice. And I have ample video of this ongoing threat while the people of the state are saying around stalking and monitoring with communication devices, a violation of Title 18. What's going on, Hernandez?
Good, how are you?
That's P.O.C. It's currently 11:30 a.m. Fake sun is remaining right over me at the Ontario Town Square. You're going to recall, let me point out to you as well, while I am at the Ontario Town Square and the fake sun is remaining, as I'm showing you in video after video, and these African Americans who are targeting with law enforcement having, again, I'm pointing that out because demons are lying, talking about Black Lives Matter. These black-faced demons are the same condition of law enforcement. That is not the grounds of targeting. They are targeting based on what is a system of surveillance. Race is a distraction. All right, they're over here blacker than me, engaging in targeting me with law enforcement, threatening together. Okay, so I want to be clear. While the light source is over me, and I captured while I'm inside of the Upland Public Library yesterday, 10:11 a.m. While I'm inside of the building, I captured it while I'm outside and I'm standing on Euclid Avenue in front of the Upland Public Library. You're talking about what is a fake scent? It's while I'm inside of the building. Again, that's very exclusive documentation. Very exclusive with regard to the positioning. And while it's keeping it in direct conflict, and why? Because you're stalking with an environment. While you were talking about, hey, how's it going? Oh no, that's an unlawful threat. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Well, not anything, because if you want to engage in making overt threats as well, you're talking about what is an ongoing, equally volatile, equally criminal implied threat. Your identity, your presence, all right, your concerted conduct with the people of the state, all right, and then and this is the entity that engages in making threats about, like, you want to engage in what is threatening to engage in kidnapping, because you're here stalking right now. All right, you're not even exercising any valid authority under the law. License 1545906, bus 2349, terrorizing with directed light. That's on the side of the bus as I stand here on B Street and Euclid Avenue under the fake sun. So the entity engaging in this communication of that threat while they are present stalking. The farmers market, this is stalking. The system of state surveillance is underway. All right, so this is the ongoing P.O.C, and it is currently 11:32 a.m. and there is no actual sun that's going to be seen through the windows of the Upland Public Library, as I captured yesterday while I was there at 10:11 in the morning, where I showed you what was the disappearing at. Directed light there and then directed light not there. And you know that this is directed light because sunlight is at no time appearing in patches in the shade, underneath structures. You're talking about what is engineered light that surrounds the grounds. All of these demons are standing around at a farmer's market under a fake sun and engineered light monitoring. All right, it's currently 11:33 a.m. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. License 8CLY980. A173RD, 8TGJ 443, 8DKK087, ADW star U.S.C 7KAL 344. All of them are sex offenders. They're engaging in molesting my person while I'm in the street, well, not in the street, while I'm in the parking lot area of the Wells Fargo, and directed light is streaming all across, touching all over my person and surrounding on the ground. These demons are psychopaths engaging in this conduct in this directed light. This demon license 61670R2. He's about 5'4", the dark-skinned Latino male with the black hoodie and light blue jeans and black tennis shoes on. He's on surveillance cameras at Ontario Town Square, getting out of his vehicle at 11:34 while he's sitting in it, engaging in surveillance with the rest of the people. But he's group stalking in his car. He gets out as I am approaching, reading license plates. He's doing business with what is Wells Fargo, which is a means of documentation. There is no form. There is no legally relevant argument. This is the pattern of conduct. 6ULT049, 8CMA224. This alumni of Fresno State is out here engaging in what is first hand, it's demonic, and second of all, criminal. They went to college to engage in criminal conduct with the government. That's pathetic, and that's nothing to be proud of. License 8LET440, 25224G2, 7TFJ539, 14164Y2, 8HLJ419, 8KEF599. That is small batch pet food delivered. That's that license 8KEF599. License 5WSH456. 8ULZ721, 6EUH032, 8RDB194, 7GDB807, 7YVA604, 5DKT008, 8SMG874, 4URS115, 7AZB090, 7NPD940, 6NPX711, 8YIH713, 7ZXM673, 7ZUD081, 8UXX474, 8TQW543, 8KBU459. Alrighty, capturing video. I want you to see not only the fake sun and its movement as I move, and also the impossible coexistence of it being over the roof of the Upland Public Library, but 61670R2, but also want you to see that engineered light. I want you to see that engineered light on the vehicle that says Ontario Police, because the demon-possessed population is not based on any status. It is a demon-possessed population, period. 4JGZ462. This demon-possessed population is engaging in what is state surveillance. You're talking about all the ways in which state surveillance is underway and how you're going to respond to that. Law enforcement that wants to engage in state surveillance, you're going to federal prison. You want to engage in obstruction of justice while surveillance is underway, you will go to federal prison. That's what the same police department who was stalking under a fake sun and indirect light, molesting my person while they were engaging in that communication of that threat, doing so while I am documenting, which they are monitoring, aware of, and doing so while they are engaging in that pattern of conduct, facilitating it with the people of the state, all of them demons. You're going to federal prison for that. All right, and that's necessary as a matter of justice. This is policy, uniform policy, how you treat the demon-possessed that are on the law enforcement agencies. 8FNN541, license 7XQX452, 6DXH436, 8MHV424, 8LPP936, 046ZH, handicap 8XRZ911, 8081982, 7XUE207, 7LVL928, 8VOY860, 8WBX203, license 8BCV736, 5ZCZ749, 8ATE855, 8S41181, 5NRB454, 48491N1, I believe I read that one already, 6NQH868, 8AKN801, in case I didn't read that one. License 8RDD780. UCP160, 7L09839, 12631U2. That's a demon using a vehicle to stalk with audible activity. Okay, the ongoing purpose of demons is not only to keep engineered light, dynamic light, while they're moving around in that engineered light, they're stalking. You're looking at them stalking. They're in the environment, so let me go drive by with my car, engaging in, which as though that's some form, it's not form, sunlight isn't ricocheting, they're in engineered light. They're demons demonstrating their demon possession, because even when they're driving at nightfall, guess what? They're still touching and surrounding with directed light. These are demons. Okay, they're not shooting light out of their finger. They don't bear gun shooting weapons. Okay, these are demons. It's demonic. License KAW780, 7YVM936, 7TQV092, 8CXU191, 88769B3, 7PPN429, 7FKS401, 6NTS416, 8G38681, 82530V1, HEREMI 41898L2. In case I didn't read that one already. Yeah, that's HEREMI. It's 11:42 a.m. License plate VPJ-455-B, 5LEL241, 5CQV858, 7L11660, 8BIA725, 8WLC279, 8YRZ423. License plates 6ULT049, 8YER102, 8RDD651. License 5LEL241, 7AYL375, 92141E3, 8UPZ340, 23P3873, that's the loud motorcycle, 8DWN273. And it is currently 11:46 a.m. and I just showed video for you. Another example, 11:41 a.m. I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library during the same time of year. All right, this is a couple weeks ago. I'm standing at the brick wall of the Fontana Lewis Library, the same position, for purposes of giving you a very vivid illustration of what is nothing other than an ongoing impossibility with regard to what is not the sun that's over my head at 11:41 at the Fontana Lewis Library. The same position that it's maintaining, by the way, in perfect alignment with me on the property of the Fontana Lewis Library at 5 p.m. That is speaking to stalking with light, which the people of the state are stalking as well. KBU459, I'm sorry, 8KBU459, 8UPZ340. All right, 6TQR595, I believe. Let me get this. 6TQR598, excuse me. So at 11:41 a.m., I captured the video specifically. I believe it turned 11:42 immediately as I started capturing it. But this is the same time I remain at the Fontana Lewis Library, and this is, again, the actual sun is not present over me. Not only is it not present over that property, it's not present maintaining central presence in the same position. So you're talking about what is non-movement, what is necessarily, understand, by virtue of its being central over my head in Fontana, at the Fontana Lewis Library, and being central over my head at the Ontario Town Square. That is documentation. You are witnessing what is necessarily movement. There is no ongoing presence, first of all, of any sun that's going to be at either properties for the duration of the day. 11:41 to 5 p.m. All you're doing is changing the color and lowering it to what is being in line with me as opposed to being directly above my head. It is called alignment, stalking with light. Second of all, you're talking about what is the conduct that is not also coexisting. 5:12 p.m. at the Ontario Town Square and 5 p.m. You think you can see that through the brick wall, over the brick wall in the parking lot of Fontana Lewis Library? You can't. All right, and also that is the ongoing maintenance of a light source, which is supposed to be the sun that's engaged in ongoing movement, which is speaking to the remaining of that light source in one particular region, even amongst Fontana and Ontario. All right, which you're not looking at the same time. This is ridiculous and stupid stalking conduct. It's stupid. It's not even smart. You're looking at what is an obsessed stalker. That is what Satan is. That's what the people of the state are. They follow me from intersection to intersection. I've shown you the obsession that they bear. This is demon possessed. All right, you're talking about what is blatant stalking. You are shown as the stalker that you are. You're shown as the demon-possessed person that you are, and the criminal that you are. All of that is revealed through that environment that's surrounding me because they're monitoring. 8DTP262. This confused demon just slowing down, doesn't even know. What are you going to do? You got to act like you're doing something else. Okay, I'm going to act like I'm going to park then. Stopping because I stopped at this intersection. License 25061D1. 8MHP352. 02314W1. So that's P.O.C. That's the video that I captured. 8ZIV812. 5TYB305. 8DVP495. 8MFJ847. 8AVB163. 6RIE125. 8VLM811. 7UNL035. 8VLM811, an alumni from Cal State University San Bernardino, which is where I went. This is a minion that's monitoring, and I was subject to the monitoring while I was at Cal State San Bernardino. 43119D3. License 7SUU570. License 8MQC871. This demon over here monitoring, this is license plate 1972297. 7MSY929, 74514E3, 51149X1. The license plate on this large, looks like a Prevest. It's a coach. It is license B177BA. That's a Tennessee license plate on this large coach. I'm at what is B Street and Palm Avenue at 11:50 a.m. where the fake sun is remaining over me as I walk on B Street. And I'm walking again, what is the direction west on B Street after the light source remained stationary over the Ontario Town Square because that's where I was at. 7MSY929. 8ZOF534. Coming out to his vehicle to use it as light activity, be present in the path, group stalking. You also know that because the scientific impossibility of what is not the sun is remaining over me, it's systematic maintenance by demons who surround, who know where I am and where I'm headed. 7PRY582. This is 310 B Street where that minion came out of. Iglesia Adventista del Septimo Dia. These are demons. That's not a real church. It's not a real iglesia. No, it's a lie. 7KAR139. 38081J2. That's why these demons are pacing around, and the light source itself, which is the presence of Satan itself, is remaining over me. 4RPL496, 4XAW555, 8WJB713, 8N70113, 8SLT719, 7NHX517, 8VFF527, 6AHH213, 4WMA012, 7FQL282, 5ETR182, 7VCH745, 5 4KLD861, 7NXL551, 8SMP327, 6UEB234, 8XTF910, 6YCC642, 8STB259, 5BPZ442, 4FSL, I read that one, 7ZHE780, 7WSS080, 7AQS745, 4FSL, 7WBA987, license 8POU973, 7ZCM928, 8M33058, 8YUR404, 5WEA586, 7DBS473, 32375K2, 7KGV713, 8WHR017, BROMACK046ZH handicap, SHBAKER 7TRF132. Fake son remaining right over me on the grounds of what is not an actual church. They are minions that congregate. 5JPC846 congregate at what is a third-party facilitating venue. What you want to call your venue is legally irrelevant. Criminal conduct is underway, and that scientific impossibility is irrebuttable, insurmountable evidence of that. License B2797 handicap. And the venue that I'm actually walking through is a parking lot of First Christian Church, it's not an actual church, and I've shown you also 7PPY782, the minions of the Ontario and the Upland Police Department who were giving you a grandiose demonstration of demon possession with the people of the state who were monitoring together right on the street right here at Vine. This is where I was at, where they were engaging in that terrorizing threat together. 8LDE 966 or 8LDF 966. It's not an actual church. 6YCC 642 as they are monitoring, and the minions that they are, the puppets of Satan that they are, knowing exactly where I am. That's what is revealed by. That's the purpose of, and that's what's indicated by the light source that remains over me. It is currently 11:54 a.m. 7PPY782 group stalking inside of Ontario Village. And group stalking while the fake sun is over me and directed light trailing back to me, toward me while they are driving by. This is not only not the sun, this is not sunlight that's created manifesting on the black asphalt coming from what is the direction of your vehicle while you are driving away from me, directed light pointed toward me. That's speaking to the focus and the stalking conduct of the demon possessed. And I believe I documented that third party that is following from place to place, monitoring with what are the demons of Amazon Prime, stalking equally unlawful. You're talking about what is grounds for what is federal prison, using companies to engage in this communication of a threat while they're also monitoring the documentation. Alrighty, showing you that minion that is Amazon Prime. Again, this is license 53277A3 at third-party facilitating venue, creating light activity, monitoring with the demons of the Ontario Village. The fake sun is now over me here inside of this venue where demons are crossing paths with directed light. Amazon Prime represents the people of the state. They're engaging in criminal conduct together. License plate 8DLB403. This is a white face, a demon who I do not know and don't have to know. The fake sun is over me, and while that demon is driving by these ongoing phenomenon of what is directed light that's pointed toward me, they're engaging in criminal conduct, which is demonic activity. It's terrorism. Again, Amazon Prime 5327783. That's P.O.C. It's 11:59 a.m. All right, monitoring in Stater Brothers. I'm showing you with relevant positioning. As soon as I take that picture, looking at their phones, they're monitoring with the communication devices. The fake sun is over the venue as well, and directed light inside of the venue. It's currently 12:13 p.m. This underage minion that's at register 15, this is the people of the state monitoring with those under the age of majority. Understand that. They're also engaging in what is surveillance in the private space with demon-possessed children under the age of majority, okay? This little demon that you see with the black hat on and the high water pants and the Fila tennis shoes, monitoring on a communication device, stalking while I'm getting a cold beverage at the produce area. It's crossing path, engaging in criminal conduct with his mother. That's facilitation. All right. This is currently, it's 12:14 p.m. and the minions, they're all minions together monitoring it. This is state surveillance, but I'm breaking it down how you're prosecuting, and they're engaging in it with those who are under the age of majority, engaging in sexual violence and terrorism with those under the age of majority. And then there's the company itself, Stater Brothers, engaged in all of the above. It is currently 12:14 p.m. 5804981. All the minions under the fake sun at Hope Boulevard Car Wash, 8 DOT 895, 6K LR 703, 05885K2, 95297D3, 43915J3, 8TN 0541, 8UJY 892. It is currently 12:27 p.m. where I'm showing you images of the fake sun over the car wash, where these demons are you've got a line of them, they all get in their car at the same time, getting in, closing their car doors, engaging in the conduct of demons. The fake sun's right over my head. 7RMR534, 8G13816, 3MQD083. Let me show you some engineered light. Some serious engineered light right there, captured with the license plate that I just read. Fake sun's right over my head, AG13816. Paper BN10F70, that's a Honda Civic parked at the Hope Boulevard Car Wash. 70NH092, 37288G2, 8E87437, 4YRN404. Oh, let's get the crime scene unit while they're engaging in criminal activity. License 1409336. Are you barking at me? Were you barking at me? Are you hollering at me?
I was calling you.
Why?
I wanted to know what you're doing.
I'm walking like you are.
Huh?
What are you doing?
I'm working.
Oh, you're working? You work
Yes.
here?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
What can I do for you?
Nothing, I'm walking.
Oh, okay.
All right, thanks. That's audible activity while I'm documenting. You have the crime scene unit here under the fake sun, entering the car wash. This is like being at the farmer's market, stalking in the path. And that third party that works here, y'all hollering to create not only audible activity, but to stop me from documenting as well. License 8ROE733. And again, that was license plate of what is the crime scene unit. The fake sun's right out here over my head at 12:28 p.m. This is Hope Boulevard Car Wash, located at 322 Hope Boulevard at the intersection of Fern and Holt. Let me be clear, the fake sun's over Fern in the morning as I documented at 7:38 in the morning. This is the same Fern Avenue. I'm at Hope Boulevard. That's why the fake sun is here. This is that's not the sun. That in and of itself is also documentation of what is not the sun. Not the sun that remains over me. That's the demonic pattern. Those are the demons of Amazon Prime responding to my documentation. Amazon Prime and its minions will find itself in federal prison. And there's a wealth of documentation supporting that. And that's necessary as uniform policy. 70RK008, 8CKH212. Uniform policy with regarding to what is the malicious, criminal, and demented pattern of conduct of the people of the state, acting via companies such as Amazon Prime. 7KTU 918. This is P.O.C. at Hope Boulevard Car Wash. Alrighty, I'm showing you again what is the state present via the Hope Boulevard Car Wash, stalking under the fake sun. And in directed light, I showed you the engineered light that they're in. Going into the car wash, and this is again license 1409336. You see them at the car wash coming out. That's crime scene unit. That's vehicle 1417, monitoring with the demons of the Ontario venue, the Hope Boulevard Car Wash at 322 Hope Boulevard. License 7WEG673. Directed light across Battle Lab while these demons patrol. License 7WOR608, 3432-1Z1, 6XHA167, excuse me, 8VFW209, 8ZPG040, 6WXP077, 6SCB379, 7HNA340, 8CBR773. That directed light swiping across the Battle Lab, which is right here in relevant position to me, which is impossible light activity, which is targeting, speaking to what is that demonic system, terrorism, while the state is present via the Ontario crime scene. All right, while that this is P.O.C. All right, the demons are sitting here acting directly, that's crime scene unit, and indirectly, the people of the state, while the pattern of conduct is underway. You can call it a car wash. You can call it the public library. You can call it a farmer's market. It is state surveillance, and this is the demon-possessed population, okay? That directed light is speaking to the pattern of conduct that's underway while the crime scene unit is present, getting its car wash while stalking in the path. Getting the car wash is nothing other than a form of presence, all right? It is currently 12:31 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, that little underage minion, I just captured his picture. Group stalking using a skateboard, which is also audible activity while he's stalking in the path, operating a communication device. Fake sun's right over my head. Directed light moving across the buildings while the demon-possessed are patrolling in vehicles. And I'm at the intersection of what is Hope Boulevard, and I believe this is Laurel or Palm. This is Palm, where Fiesta Motors is, and the Una Voz que clama en el desierto, not a true church. Demonic activity is underway. Group stalking as you see these overweight minions sitting in their cars. 8YCG842 is a demon. They're under the fake sun and they are group stalking. They are monitoring, engaging in what is criminal monitoring with the state. License BF74D79, that's a paper plate. It's the same with this minion over here. The minions on the skateboard are creating noise while they are stalking in the path and the fake sun's over my head. 8GSM898. SKLVKGS. By the way, it's 12:35 p.m. You got demons that'll congregate inside of a building and they'll just call it a church. Let me tell you, Satan is filling those venues. And it's not a genuine church. It's not a church because you call it a church. And if you really want to know, a church has actually nothing to do with the physical structure of a building. Church has a substantive definition and it has nothing to do with what is demonic conduct and the demon possessed. License 6XUV653. Let's see, it is 12:35 p.m. That's group stalking over here. You want to get the Battle Lab, evike.com, Outpost. I believe this is some sort of religious organization as well. They're demons. And they're criminals, moreover. They are demon-possessed criminals, like the worst of the worst, okay? Not just the ordinary criminal. These are puppets of Satan engaging in criminal conduct and doing it amongst a government, in concert with the government. All right? Directed light just like I was speaking to while crime scene units group stalking at the car wash. Fake sun remains over me as I walk away from the car wash, directed light following me as I walk on the street, while demons are crossing path and light is moving across buildings. There is nothing normal about that. The skateboarder is a demon stalking, operating a phone while that conduct is underway. Eagles Area 2398, group stalking in the path. And it is currently 12:36 p.m. 815-32Z1. 4YPE339, 38521F3, 6NOK256, 7NWW344, 7RAU080, 8PRZ395, 84361F2, 68492M2. YTK229, K983SO. Yeah. See, 8RBM840, 8JQE072, 7AGZ870, 8TOD287, United States Postal Service, vehicle 220718. 8RFF083, 7WQW488, 6SDA719, 8UBT968, 6VEU080, 8ZJG737, 6TTN537, license 1545838, bus 2359, an overweight African American with a red burgundy weave in her head, 7NGB690, license 7RYN250, 7FJG147, 8SEA115. It is currently 12:38 p.m. Alrighty, you see where the skateboarders are. You see where the fake sun is right over me. This is where they're surrounding with this. These are demons that are actually pacing in engineered light, and they're doing it under the fake sun. I'm at Laurel and Holt Boulevard at 12:38 p.m. The United States Postal Service is the state facilitating venue where the fake sun is right here over me, 8A31773. The United States Postal Service is the state facilitating venue located at 123 West Holt Boulevard in Ontario, California. The license plate of that demon who I already read, K93850, I believe substantially similar, I already read it earlier, is engaging in what is loitering at the Insurance Income Tax Flores Barbershop, this venue at 202 Euclid Avenue. 202 Holt Boulevard, 7ROW536. I just want to recite that. That's called loitering. He engages in what is monitoring. I recited that license, if I recall correctly, earlier today at the Ontario Town Square. Crossing path again, touching me from the opposite side of the street while I'm walking on this sidewalk, and then parks in alignment to me where I'm standing. 8TBR798 and 7FJG147 is stalking in the past, sitting in their vehicle under the fake sun. 7MRE717. It's 12:39 p.m. 5XAE574, 7LVU716, 34321Z1, 8HUR695, 8SEU021, 6FIV245, 6NLR 290, I believe, 1399978. That's Omnitrans bus 1263 at 12:39 p.m. going eastbound on Hope Boulevard, crossing path, Stalking. Let's see. NFRMRA Heart, 7HWV625, 8NQW535, 43366V1. Let's see. 24LOBO, 6XXT709, 8SEA115. See, 6NWR868, 7ZZF390, 46067E2, 8MPL809, L925PO, 7TBD259, 7VFJ423, 8SFT501, 5RK, I can't really see that one, 8H43065, 4LAU945, and it's 12:41 p.m. That's a crime scene unit engaging in P.O.C. 1409336. That's a white woman, a demon-possessed one, acting as a state directly, and directed light pointed toward me while that demon crosses path under the fake sun. And I did not memorize that license plate. I'm reading it in real time, and let me show you the fake sun that's right here over me while the state acts directly, just like they were at the car wash. And captured images for you what is crossing path and loitering at the red light of Holt and Euclid at 12:41 p.m. That's crime scene unit stalking at what is the Holt Boulevard car wash as well. Fake sun over me there, fake sun over me here where the crime scene unit is crossing path. This demon 50133B3 using the post office as a means of pacing back and forth, goes out, walks to the entrance, drops in a letter, an envelope, whatever they're doing. They're crossing path under the fake sun. 5YYF 166, 5YQB228. And again, crime scene unit, while they drive by right now under the fake sun, directed light coming backwards toward me, just like these demons. AWOD270. License 8XDC 637. 7YXR259. 917062. 04874V2. 8WHR353. That's what is so hilarious. It's not hilarious because it's funny. It's hilarious because it's entirely pathetic. And the crime scene unit's going to be in federal prison while they're engaging in criminal conduct. Oh, boy, the irony. It's just dripping. License, 7FJG624. License, 8PNP517. This is 8PVT304. 7MMA862. 8TQL850, 8TND541. C 8FRF377, 7MTZ209. C 13119T1 molesting, 6EWG5937973336. You can scratch that, I can't really say that. 7DFB785, 8XJN056. Alrighty, showing you what is the fake sun. It's right here as I'm standing in between the Jackson Hewitt Tax Service Building and the 123 West Hope Boulevard, the state facilitating venue of the post office. This is the same venue in the morning where I am in a vehicle early in the morning, driving past, directed lights on the side of the income tax building because you're keeping light in the shade as the fake sun is moving in real time over this same building. The state's fake sun is right here over me while I'm standing in between it at 12:44 p.m. And I'm also showing you what is a picture of the shaded sidewalk, right? These are where the demons are crossing paths, such as 7YWP852. That is a demon-possessed person. Directed light is coexisting with every single last one of their vehicles driving by me and directed light moving across the building. That's impossible light activity. 680KFG is not only a demon, this is a demon that knows exactly where I am. They are stalking on behalf and in concert with the state while they are practicing together what is demonic. This is terrorism. 8XGW391, 15156M2. This is what Officer Hernandez and Sabrina were engaging in today at the farmers market. 7ROS671, 8RMH436, 64145M2. While the demon possessed of law enforcement are engaging in this conduct, that is speaking to what is federal prison. RS1EJS. Hold on, let me get this. RS1ESJS. While the people of the state engage in this ongoing perpetual threat together with law enforcement and acting as the entity that they are vicariously on behalf of the state, you're talking about what is that accumulates using companies to engaging in that ongoing threat, which is unlawful while you're monitoring the documentation. That's the fact pattern as we are right now. You're talking about what is, again, understanding federal prison. You're understanding what's the prosecution for terrorism while demons are together engaging in this ongoing act of terrorism, this inexplicable light, which is serving criminal monitoring. It's a criminal with regard to federal law, and it is also a sex offense while they're touching with this engineer light while they are stalking. You are following around in order to touch with this engineer light. All manner of terrorism. All right, license. It is currently 12:46 p.m. while they are maintaining presence. This is P.O.C. All right, showing you what is demonic activity by the people of the state. Speaking to what is federal prison for law enforcement and companies such as Amazon Prime, license 7N07811, 7H, I can't really see that one. License 6GTK553, license molesting and terrorizing with a minor 7DSP709. Sitting in the car, this is the conduct that's going to be addressed by the people who are these violent, sex-offending, demon-possessed criminals, placing another under surveillance while you're carrying your that's exactly what you're looking at the farmer's market this morning. They're engaging in it with children included. 95773V2. You're going to immediately address that. All right, you're talking about the ease with which you think you're going to engage in terrorizing another, and you're going to maintain guardianship of a child? I don't think so. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's currently 12:49 p.m. where you're sexually violating another, terrorizing. You're going out of your way with your kids who should be your priority. They're not. The fake sun and direct light speaks to that. You are stalking and doing it while you have your kid in a car, which is a threat to me and that child. 23573H3. Doing it while you are terrorizing with law enforcement, which is what they're doing at Farmers Market while molesting in the same way you see with that light today while they're crossing paths. AH13405. This is federal prison. Grounds for federal prison. Okay, so you're understanding that P.O.C. It doesn't change while then those psychopaths that know that I'm capturing video the moment that I turn around, and this is how you're understanding the demon possessed. They're the same ones that hop into their car and then molest me while they have those same children in their booster seats in the back seat of the car, molesting and stalking. All right, with law enforcement. License 7NQU976, MRSTRCH. License 23573H3. The demonic pattern of stalking with light in the path, hazard lights. It's 12:50 p.m. 6Y97210. Alrighty, capturing what is license plate 23573H3, engaging in what is that demonic act of terrorism, engaging in facilitation, minions as such as the following are monitoring to that. 7EGZ011, 8ZRT084, 8LXG045, 7NSN610, 5APG484, 6NWC698, 8MIR492, 8RRX554, CB64P47 paper, 5MTE105, 7ZTG299, 8FSF736, 8PMR285, 7SMB751, 7YLY571, 8NEJ807. And of course, Little Ontario Police Department are monitoring with license 23573H3, who was parked on the curb illegally on the red, and engaging in parking at what is essentially the bus stop for Omnitrans, all to go out of their way in order to make sure that they keep light in my path. That's a terrorizing threat. 6ELU111, APAS861, and all of these people are monitoring with that demon. You're talking about what is understanding ground, all the ways in which the people of the state are speaking to what is the unlawful threat that they pose, the impermissible threat while they're monitoring the documentation. They are facilitating massive conduct, criminal conduct with the government that's engaged in surveillance, and you will go to federal prison for that. This is what the people of the state do in plain sight, and you will easily place them in federal prison. All right, this is a tactic of what's stalking in the path of light. It's entirely demonic. It's terrorizing while the people of the state do this everywhere that you're going, especially while they're monitoring the fact that you are documenting it. And so I want to be clear on that. This is the fake sun is right over my head as well. So you are witnessing what is indeed demonic. They are under what is that scientific impossibility, speaking to their stalking conduct and their facilitation by the stalkers who surround monitoring with them. This is an entity of people engaging in that stalking activity. That's again license 23573H3. That's federal prison. All right, you want to engage in what is facilitation for threatening the life of an American citizen while you are placing them under surveillance with the government, monitoring with the Ontario Police who are stalking right now, engaging in the same thing in my face at Farmers Market, you're going to federal prison, engaging in the same thing while you're stalking in the path, threatening my life, monitoring the documentation, you're going to federal prison. It's referred to as what is an impermissible threat. And this is what the people of the state do, also doing it through what are company names, as I documented today, such as Amazon Prime. License 7D81909, and understand what they're doing. They're monitoring with communication devices. So as they engage in this, understand the determination, which is of a demonic entity that is, again, literally just not only delusional, but you're in denial with regard to what is law that's going to address that determination is going to be met with very fierce penalties. Federal prison. License 7081909, 8KLH062, 6CZT404, 8KAU999, 7MUP283, 8SIX 446, 57008N2, and it is currently 12:55 p.m. 333-4782. And documenting, it is 12:55 p.m. I want to speak to what is the fake sun that's over my head while this entity, again, I already read that, while this entity is engaging in that facilitating act, and that minion drives off with their emergency lights on and entering inside of what is the venue. It's a facilitating venue because they're all monitoring together. I was reading license plates, but the minions inside of 108 Euclid, oh, they're not even in there. It's closed down. All right, but I want to be clear, this is a facilitating venue where the people, let's say, are maintaining presence, and walking into a venue is no form. Any venue you're walking inside of, they're monitoring as well. And in addition to that, you have what is whether the venue is open or closed, the fake sun, which is across the street from where I woke up this morning. In and of itself, that placement this morning is also impossible. I've already documented this. Nonetheless, it's there. You can look at it. We can just isolate the documentation to today. The light source is remaining north of me at the Ontario Town Square for hours. I walk west, I go to Stater Brothers, it remains over my head. I walk east back down Hope Boulevard. It's right here across the street from the Ontario Museum where I woke up this morning, 7:25 in the morning, essentially. I'm documenting that. That is, it does not matter what you want to claim you're doing. You're documenting the P.O.C. That's a terrorizing threat. You are going to federal prison for that. And you being the state acting directly, law enforcement, the state acting vicariously, the people of the state. 7 CCC 014. And I'm just addressing what was this minion that comes out of a venue right here, parked on the street, on the curb, and creating hazard lights. They are stalking, and that's how you have no form. Capture the fake sun. I just showed you what is the directed light. You have no form. You go into any venue, guess what that venue is? A facilitating venue. They're monitoring as well. 6UEB234 was monitoring with that minion that was using hazard lights, communicating a terrorizing threat. Coming from behind to monitor with the state that's amplifying plane engines, 5PDX717, 8PTC737, 7RBZ871, 7Y42545, 7KYV375, BN76B98. And it's 12:57 p.m. where the fake sun is over my head, and you have the entity hovering in commercial airline planes. Remember, going all the way, which is much more west of this location, I walked from Stater Brothers, and where's Amazon Prime hovering? Right there over me in the Stater Brothers, where you see the fake sun right there over me. That's exactly what's ongoing right now. That is also indicating what is evidence against what is the third party with which the entity is monitoring through. While the entity is hovering over me, in the same way that is flying more west and then hovering over the Ontario Village, and also migrating to be what is northwest, to be over at that particular location where I'm in front of that Stater Brothers. That's stalking. And hovering, you're not taking off. You're doing the same thing at Ontario Town Square, wherever it is that I'm going. You're flying over, not doing so over the B&G Plaza. You're not perpetually hovering. You are hovering over where I'm located. License 7RYN250, BF91N62, 8VGN105, 7RYN250, 7HPF865, 8Z06649. And that's what you're hearing in the background is audible activity, which is ongoing criminal conduct in real time while I'm documenting them engaging in that pattern of conduct. 8ZDK841, 8YJC559, 8EWU651, 17NK762, INFRMRA. Oh, I'll get that one in a second. This was license plate 31766J2. While this demon is pacing, directed light is moving on the asphalt. All right, monitoring with an underage minion with long hair in the front seat. That's all they're doing is stalking. All right, license. This is NFRMRA Heart. And I'm at what is Euclid in Transit, where I was this morning, at the museum. It's on the opposite side of the same street. Okay, this is where the entity is hovering by planes, stalking by helicopters. Hovering by planes is stalking. All right, but you're recalling the ongoing pattern of conduct. Sitting around drinking coffee in relevant position is stalking. Sitting around in relevant position in directed light is stalking. Sitting around in relevant position while a fake sun is over me at the same location where the fake sun was over me this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning is stalking. All right, this minion is crossing path again. 7 CCC 014, whose license plate I already read. Now they're just crossing path. All right, so let me be clear. This is, I probably read those minions license plates. This is third-party facilitating venue Mestiza, Cake House and Cafe. This is the P.O.C. that's underway and maintaining presence at that venue where the fake sun is right here over me. Mestiza is located at 200 Euclid Avenue. Alrighty, the people of the state engaged in ongoing harassment as an entity while they are molesting. That is inherent to the pattern of conduct by the demons who are the demon possessed who are constantly stalking and touching with engineered light. 1P DJ 238. And of course, this is the same with regard to a demonic system that is operated by a government that's stalking with a light source over your head. It's instrumental to their criminal conduct. 7HBA 566, 7XQW 319. This demon just going all over the place, pacing all around. 31766J2, and he's doing so with the minion that's in his car. All right, that's either his son or it's somebody under the age of 18. He's using them while he's using that vehicle, pacing all around. That's facilitation and delinquency of a minor with whom he's engaging in what is harassment, terrorism, and sexual violence while engaged in federal stalking. License, I already read that one. Alrighty, it is currently 1:01 p.m. Activity immediately building up at Mestiza. This is where I'm at. While they are doing that, that's coming in through the ingress and egress. This is repeatedly crossing paths, 7KAS 267. It's directed light conduct, 8DHJ 368. It is the ongoing maintenance of presence in the path, all right? License 40594G2. P.O.C. License 8WHA264, 6YSH007. License plate 6MPX 827 8TWM 913 5CNG 410 7KRW 378 6XDP 796. This demon has directed light. License plate 8VQL 236 5RNX 594. Repeatedly crossing path one after another with directed light. They're all monitoring and stalking. 78ES 556. 8RUC 909, 6P HX 042, 8LLK 563. 14369C1, 8PBW 013. License 8EDY 612. License 9F85. I can't really see the rest of them. 4SHL 654, mobile CT scanner, 7UHF 083, 8NWF 558, 7DGH 207, 8VTS 111. License 43400J2. 5XHM098. All of them crossing path. Not only the significance of that is because this is not the actual sun. This is speaking to that impossibility. That impossibility is underway, revealing what is a demonic and criminal system that is operated by a government, the state of California. It is interstate stalking. It is interstate stalking amongst the demon possessed. That scientific impossibility, what is not possibly the sun as we know it, the sun that we're told about. That's what I mean by as we know it. The actual sun is not remaining over a specific address. And again, I'm back at 225 South Euclid Avenue, and this is where the light source is, where I was today at 7 in the morning. Okay. And not only that, as I have already left walking north into the city of Upland, as I have left the city of Ontario and gone to Fontana, as I have left the city of Ontario, gone to Pomona, came back and am inside of the venue of the Ontario Over the Family Community Library, where the state kept its fake sun for the duration of the day. In conflict with all of that, you're talking about what is remaining over my head, central over my head as I remain in Ontario today. All right, that's not at any time coexisting with being over the roof, visible over the roof, seen through the window of the Upland Public Library, of being on a bus of Omnitrans en route to any of those said locations. This is speaking to, again, what I documented the Ontario Police Department engaging in, law enforcement thinking, engaging in conduct that is posing an impermissible threat while you are engaging in interstate stalking, which is exactly why a light source is remaining over me and directed light in the same way that I captured video. Those same demons posing before a camera having absolute legally irrelevant. You're talking about demons that are focused on the surface, and you're looking at the environment. While they're smiling and cheesing, you're witnessing a psychopath that actually is a danger to the children that they are using while they're stalking with law enforcement. That's what that is. Because it is a conclusion with regard to the scientific impossibility that the actual sun is over my head while they are stalking and terrorizing, threatening with law enforcement. Law enforcement who will go to federal prison for that. That's a matter of substantial documentation that I captured today. Again, Officer Hernandez, Officer Samantha, I believe that's her first name, who is a sex offender, a documented sex offender, monitoring while my panties are down with the same African-American female of Securitas at Ovid Family Community. She's going to federal prison as well. Okay, engaging in waging false assertions, the criminal assertion of false allegations while you are monitoring. You're engaged in surveillance. That's why directed light is in the bathroom. All right, holding your hand up under a light, ordinary circumstance, does not create 2 and 3 shadows. That's engineered light. You are engaged in surveillance. You are molesting my nude person, my genitalia, touching all over me with this engineered light because you want to engage in surveillance in that private space. And then while I am documenting it, which you know also because you're engaged in surveillance, you are engaged in what is criminal defamation and the waging of false assertions, false allegations, and criminal summoning when you're engaged in surveillance the whole time. This is the entity engaging in what is stalking into the fake sun at the Ontario Town Square today. I mean, when I say surrounded by evidence, this is exactly what I mean. You're talking about what is we are at the junction now where the P.O.C. is established. You're understanding that you're dealing with the demonic. I'm showing you not only their character, what you are to expect from the demon possessed, and then you're talking about what is understanding nothing other than psychopaths. And that is, by the way, the conduct of those with the demon on them. That's exactly how they conduct themselves. A psychopath is one that knows right from wrong, wants, and this is what you're seeing, the black-faced demons, those white-faced demons, those Asian-faced demons, whatever you want to call them, of any race, it doesn't matter. You saw all of them today. I showed you black men, black women monitoring me with law enforcement, Asians, those who are not even natural-born citizens, you deport them out of this country upon federal prosecution. These white people that have children that they're using to engage in what is stalking in the path, and they're doing it under the fake sun that's remaining over me at the Ontario Town Square, which is on the opposite side of the same block. At the museum right now where the fake sun is over the same property where I was at this 7 o'clock in the morning. Not only is that not the sun based on the time that it's necessarily remaining and not moving anywhere from the region, east or west, only doing so as I walk up the whole boulevard, remaining over me as I walk back in the same direction. You're over the same property, not the sun. Second of all, not the sun while I'm in an entirely distinct location. If I'm arriving at the Fontana Lewis Library at 11:41 in the morning, which I capture on video, the light source is remaining at 5 p.m. at that same brick wall, which is a matter of documentation. How would the actual sun be present? First of all, it's not. From 7 in the morning, still seeing capable over the property at 12. I'm sorry, now it's 1:08 p.m. But how would it ever be seen while I'm looking at the supposed sunset while I'm in Fontana, standing at the brick wall? But it's right here over my head at the Ontario Museum. You're also looking at what is the molestation, the terrorism with directed light by those demons. Those are the same demons that I was pointing out while they are stalking, including children, in that pattern of conduct with the Ontario Police. 8BGP014. You're stalking and monitoring, terrorizing with the state that's hovering by plane right now at 1:09 p.m. The 1:09 p.m. where it's right here over me at the museum. The entity engaging in what is conduct, again, as I'm reminding you of all this, what I pointed out to you, take a good look at it, because that's why they're going to federal prison. The Ontario Police Department, those officers engaging in an impermissible threat. You again engage in that impermissible threat, American citizens documenting the government while you are placed into surveillance, a government that intends to continue threatening your life, intends to continue stalking and monitoring you with a whole people who are of this condition, which is entirely terrorizing. They're psychopaths who engage in holding up babies and smiling and trying to look one way while they are engaging in hovering, obsessive, psychopath level stalking. All right. And you see that through the directed light. I'm stepping outside and you see what is this direct light. They're the same minions that are over here at the Ontario Town Square, trying to present children to you while I'm documenting the fact that they're demons that are stalking. And that's exactly what I pointed out. Those are the same minions driving by and I'm being molested inside of a vehicle with directed light. All right. You're not going to be distracted by that whatsoever. Those are minions that will lose those children. Those are minions that will go to federal prison. This is speaking to what is the creation of uniform policy. Posing an impermissible threat is that which shall result in federal prison. This is going to be almost like a strict liability basis. The government's placing in surveillance. You want to get in the way of the not third party, but the people of the state enforcing their rights? That's a whole other level. You're monitoring, and then you're monitoring the documentation, and you think you're going to threaten or kidnap or defame, all right, or in any other way oppress while you are trying to threaten as well. The pattern of conduct is underway. That's federal prison, okay? So I want to be clear. Inland Empire, IE buses, bus number 9047, license EP12640. Crossing path under the fake sun, which is right here over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. It's 1:10 p.m. Let me show you video of this. Alrighty, license plate. KLWNSKA. 7SBJ394, 8RUF826, 7STJ195, 8TOJ256, 8GTB831, 7UDG585, 5JXS 389 or 239, excuse me. 7K. Let's see. 7K. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 7PKG949. 8UVK715. License 66958Y2. KLWNSKI, in case I didn't read that one. License, I read that one. 7SBJ394, I read that one already. Showing you substantial video of the fake sun over me at the same Ontario Museum of History and Arts where I was early this morning during the 7 o'clock hour. Fake sun in alignment with me, over me at the museum then, over me right now, 8SPP698, 7UQG585, 5KLG553, BG44J39, 6ROG437, BF75S68 paper, 8DZB561, 8LFS814, 8MNN966. And not only am I showing you, first of all, while I'm being molested with directed light, being terrorized with directed light by the demon-possessed entity, you're talking about understanding what is indiscriminate. You're speaking to and you're understanding what it is that I told you. There is no exception. When you are engaging in this conduct, every single last vehicle engaging in what is an impossible occurrence, happening even one time, occurring with every vehicle that's driving by underneath the sun, even if it was the sun, understand. And I'm showing you as a matter of scientific fact, it's not. I'm at the same Ontario Museum of History and Arts where I was this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. You think the actual sun is remaining over a property all day long? It's not. It's not. It's impossible. Not only that, you're talking about what is directed light. They are molesting my person, my body, with engineered light. That's the sex offender that is demon possessed and is stalking. That is speaking to an indiscriminate ability to understand what is demon possession and what is stalking by a people. 8SZF981. Now, like I said, with regard to that conduct, I showed you video, directed light all over me while they're stalking. Every single lot, the people of the state are going to be prosecuted. You don't have a legal argument. I don't have to know your name. This is the government's P.O.C. and it is satanic. Satan is using people. The people of the state are puppets of Satan. In this state, that's what's going on. All right, and it's not the sun. And I will let you know because it is a matter of scientific fact. This is reliable and it is valid because I'm showing you with your own eyes what's supposed to be the sun. What's supposed to be the sun based on the information that we know about it. You can't make that. You're talking about I can't control what is this light source that's over me. So this scientific phenomenon is in direct conflict with what literally they're telling you about what's global warming. Global warming has nothing to do with that. There is no globe being warmed while the fake sun's remaining over a single address over my head all day long. That's exactly what this is. I have shown you every which angle whereby you can witness what is impossible. Showing you one time at one time I'm here and I'm at this other location at the same time of the year. This is not coexisting at the same time. It is not maintaining presence over my head at the same time. I'm at this same address, 7 o'clock in the morning. I come back to the same address, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's maintaining central presence over my head. That is not the sun. It is an impossibility. I'm speaking to what is the maintenance of presence while I'm in motion in a vehicle or traveling on foot. You see that light source moving in real time. In direct conflict, by the way, with what is maintaining presence over a property all day long. Oh, this is real-time control of the environment. That is speaking in the direct this has nothing to do with some scientific evolution of the natural environment that's speaking to global warming. No, it's not. Let me be clear. It is demonic. The presence of Satan. You need to understand Satan is real. Satan is a spirit and invisible. In other words, you cannot see it. You are witnessing Satan's presence through this light source that remains over me. Okay? You are witnessing the presence of Satan through the people of the state. I've only applied what is their term for purposes of prosecuting them. You are witnessing the presence of Satan through the people that are surrounding me. And I don't mean the people proper with regard to their legal term. I mean, literally, those that are driving their cars or walking by, that are inside of any business, inside of wherever they live, where I'm walking. That's the presence of Satan. They're demon possessed. It is indiscriminate. As indiscriminate and as broad sweeping as is driving by a crowd of vehicles, directed light all over the place. Directed light concentrated onto me. Both sides of the street, driving east and west on Whole Boulevard. That's not even the sun. That's not even the sun. So you're talking about at one point where the entity's thinking that, oh, you're never going to be able to prove. This is the mindset of the demonic, okay? Thinking that nobody's ever going to be able to figure this out. Nobody's ever going to be able to reveal this. Nobody's ever going to listen to it, all right? So you're talking about what is engaging in the conduct, thinking that you have the form that, oh, this is the sun, because how are you going to prove it's not the sun? Oh, yeah, well, I have substantial documentation. I can give you a whole rundown everywhere that I'm at, okay? Including in different counties. At this time where this light source is over me and it's not over at that location at the same time. It's not remaining over there at that location, which I've done at the same time all day long. You also know by the fact that that's documented, while it's remaining over there, over me all day long, this isn't the sun over me right here. Let alone driving under the sun is never going to create ricocheting light. Ricocheting light that's all over, reaching up to the top of the building. This is a pattern. This is the very people who are surrounding are of that condition. They're demons. This is the demon possessed. Let me be clear. Satan is a spirit. This spirit of Satan is on the people. That is demonstrated through their conduct. You shall know them by their deeds. What they are doing, driving by with this ongoing impossible light activity, is conduct. It is a deed that is serving to identify them. Their identification is relevant to their prosecution. While you're engaged in federal stalking, you are demonstrating demon possession, and that is directly relevant to what is terrorism, while you are subjecting an American citizen to that entirely demented and terrorizing conduct. It is also relevant to what is a method of touching. You're stalking on behalf of a government, and you're touching while you're doing so. You will be prosecuted as what is called a perpetual sex offender. The entity is engaging in a perpetual sex offense while you're keeping a fake son over me. It's a molestation. Serving a criminal purpose. The entity is engaging in an ongoing molestation while they're stalking all around me with directed light. All right, that's a perpetual sex offender. Doing it serving a criminal purpose. They're doing it under what is not, you don't even have the form anymore because you thought that it was never going to be, but we've long crossed that road. It is clear that this is not the sun. These idiots continue to engage in the P.O.C. Guess what that is? That's an impermissible threat. And it doesn't even take this long. I'm establishing precedent. Any ordinary target individual that begins documenting the pattern of conduct, the government, the demon, the demonic entity that itself knows what you're documenting. They continue to engage in that, which you will know. You're documenting it. So as you continue to document, let me be clear, federal prison for everybody, okay? And that's a matter of justice. You want to go to federal prison when you want to continue engaging and waging what is an impermissible threat, in which you will know by the independently corroborating documentation. So I want to be clear, that's speaking to the people of the state that want to act by company. You don't have any form. This is state surveillance. You're present on behalf of the state. You're in the state's environment. You are also a demon that is engaging in what is not coincidentally facilitating that ongoing impossible environment. You're a demon. You're a demon that's operating by a company name. That company name will be prosecuted. You will be peeled out. You will be thrown into federal prison. You will be civilly liable as well. You were talking about what is in no way escaping justice. What the government is doing is entirely demented and malicious, designed at the outset to never result in what is the acquisition of justice by an American citizen. I'm showing you the ways in which the malicious system operates. Law enforcement, first of all, these agencies that are demon possessed, you disband them. They're infected, okay? There's nothing you can do about that. There's no training with which you can rid a demonic spirit. This is something that they are living with, and they sought to maintain inconspicuously, hoping that no one would ever know. Okay, that is yesterday. It's a new day. You're not only a criminal engaging in federal stalking, you're unfit. You are a demon-possessed actor engaging in that criminal conduct, facilitating criminal conduct with the people of the state who are of that same condition. You are unfit in every way. Unfit. Not only that, you will go to federal prison while you're waging an impermissible threat. All right, so like I said, it's currently 1:24 p.m. and I captured that video of the fake sun over me at the same exact Ontario Museum at 225 South Euclid Avenue, where the fake sun is over me this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. All right, and so this is not the same time this is not the first time, that I've documented this. Okay, but I made a specific point to go ahead and document. Let me be clear. There's an ongoing P.O.C, ongoing documentation. I already documented what was the state keeping the fake sun in alignment with me at the Ontario Town Square. There is, this is documentation 7, we'll just say 7 in the morning, but it's actually even before that, about 6:45 in the morning, where Amazon Prime and Omnitrends are molesting and terrorizing with directed light. And I'm showing you the fake sun after I have just walked, I'm at the same position, on the sidewalk beside 150 East Holt, which is right next to the museum, 6:44 in the morning, 5:12 p.m. in the evening. That's the big picture with regard to the documentation as I've captured it in the last week and a half. Okay, so actually the last week. Okay, so I want to be clear, that is understanding what is documentation that is speaking to what is time of year, time analysis. And it is that in and of itself is speaking to what would be impossible if that was the actual sun. But you already know that that's not the sun. So then you're talking about what is going on at the Upper Public Library, the same exact thing. That which is not possibly the sun remaining over me while I'm there. What's going on at the Over Family Community Library? The same exact thing. That which is maintaining a light source of it while I remain subject to surveillance. And they have directed light inside of their venue. All right? Meaning multiple shadows in the bathroom. That's a terrorizing threat. That's a violent sex offender. Touching all over my indisposed body while you're engaging in surveillance. That's touching. That's what directed light's going to be treated as. You're touching, and you're touching my person while I'm indisposed, engaged in a private activity. This is called the invasion of privacy. This is called what is the invasion of privacy by entity. This is called the monitoring by an entity inside of the private spaces. That's a sex offender. That's the government. All right, this is what I've documented as I'm speaking to the venues, for example, representing what the people of the state are doing everywhere. That is understanding what is the big picture, because it's the same thing in the city of Fontana. It's the same thing when I engage in what is a quote unquote supposed anomaly and going to where does the city of Pomona fit in, where the state's fake sun remained over what is Holt Boulevard to the Ontario Town Square. I walked up to go to Stater Brothers and came right back. How is it ever going to be over the property of Pomona? It's not. It's over me when I'm there. That's not the actual sun. 8SOK 764, 4LUN 770. And so I captured that on video. And so I have fully documented with regard to what are thousands, that they are the people of the state. And in the same way that you see them molesting my person, this is terrorism by the demon possessed. The people of the state that are violent and demented, okay, psychopaths. That think, or I'm not going to go to what they think, engage in conduct that is suggesting that they're impervious to ever being identified as the demon possessed that they are. That's not true. And obviously, and I've shown that, also engaging in conduct that is suggesting you think you're impervious to being prosecuted as the stalker that you are on behalf of a government. And that's certainly not true. That's certainly not true. And you will be prosecuted as what is a terrorist, a sex offender. Let me be clear. The government is a sex offender. The state of California is a sex offender. The people of the state are in the shoes of the government. License 43119D3 wants to go ahead and touch me while I'm speaking to that sex offender. They're under the fake sun that remains over me right here at this corner. Let me be clear, the opposite corner where it is at 7:59 in the morning, it's on the opposite side of the corner. Let me show you that as well. Alrighty, capturing that video for you. The license plates of third parties who are crossing path. The demon possession that is known as a matter of objective evidence based on the environment, and I literally captured video of this is, I mean, spectacular documentation. The fake sun is on now what is the west end of the 150 East Holt Boulevard County Building, and in the morning, for example, as I captured at 7:59 during this a few days ago, again within the last 7 days, it's over the same building, just on the opposite corner at 7:59 in the morning. And that is because I got up at that time. Understand, it would remain, as I've already documented, at 8:14 in the morning, as I remain at the museum. That's where it is. But because I got up and I was at the intersection at that time, it's captured right there, which is capturing that stalking with the fake sun. It is 1:30 p.m. and I captured the video. It's over the same building hours later. This is the P.O.C, and I have documented that, and I've also documented the criminal system underway at what is state facilitated in the Ontario Town Square, and state surveillance and terrorism operating under the guise of what is farmers market. All right, and so it is currently 1:31 p.m. and I captured that video. This is P.O.C. License plate 6ATE577 5ESU638. License 8FJJ013, 6HGP691, 5NOZ723, 8WLV464, 90120A1. License. I did capture video of what is the light source that is still at the same Ontario Town Square after I showed you the light source that's over me at the Ontario Museum where it was at 7:27 in the morning. I did capture that. I went right back because I want to show you what is the absolute non-movement of a not actual sun. And that's literally the language that is necessary to describe that. That is not the sun. It is the maintenance of presence over my head. And I show you that glaring picture of what is demonic conduct as I go back to a venue where I was earlier in the day. And you know that if that was the actual sun, it wouldn't be present. And it also will not engage in what is maintaining presence over me. All right. And so that's the most vivid illustration. And I captured that. And not only that, I went back to the Ontario Town Square where the fake sun was over me at 7:49 a.m. And I captured at 4 p.m. I captured at approximately maybe several minutes later. I captured at right now at 5 p.m. The entity keeping a fake sun over me, and I'm showing you the demons of Southwest Airlines, the demon possessed that are at the Ontario Town Square engaging in surveillance with their minor children, including this third party 7BWM411. And the entity is keeping that fake sun in alignment with me at the Ontario Town Square 7MXS542. And the license plate of these third parties are those who are crossing path, coming to their vehicles as a means of maintenance of light. This is obsessive stalking by a demon-possessed people. These demon-possessed stalkers are at the Ontario Town Square with their kids, just like they were earlier today, threatening with the demons that are the Ontario Police Department. And that's exactly what they intend to do, thinking that they will do so without suffering any consequences. That is certainly not the case. So when I'm showing you what is the fake sun, you are understanding what is that unlawful threat that they are waging while they're engaging in surveillance and stalking in your face. That's exactly what you go to federal prison for that. And the ongoing revealing of that is the presence under what is an entirely scientific impossibility, which is serving their ongoing criminal system. I'm surrounded by engineered light. 7 ESC 971. This demon is sitting in their vehicle monitoring with that demon whose loud vehicle you hear. It is also a show of hostility while these demons are listening to the fact that they will be going to federal prison. 7VZD336. Alrighty, and that minion is sitting in their vehicle engaging in surveillance, engaging in what is harassment by an entity, engaging in ongoing terrorism. The entity repeatedly crossing path as you hear, as you see in that video with Southwest Airlines. This is what the entity has been doing all day long under the fake sun that remained all day long right over my head. This is harassment by an entity. This third party 7VZD336 is engaging in the customary surveillance and demented conduct by the demon possessed, sitting around the property, stalking. The people of the state are doing the same thing while they bring their kids to do that. Okay, that's exactly what they're doing, and that is all that they are doing, and that's why a fake sun is remaining over me here. 7UUN561. I captured what is the light source that is over me. Understand, the entity is engaging in the placement of a light source, and I'm reminding you about, for example, 5 p.m. when I'm in Fontana, and I'm also at 12 p.m. I obviously am there at 5 p.m. on the dot, but you're talking about what is also a 12-minute distance, which is negligible. You're talking about what is not coexisting at the same time, 5 p.m. versus 5:12 p.m. In the city of Fontana, while I'm showing you the fake sun. But nonetheless, I have down to the minute precise documentation showing you what is at 5 p.m. when I'm in Fontana at the Fontana Lewis Library, standing at the excuse me, I'm looking at something. I'm standing at the same brick wall. The brick wall that I was standing at this morning at, I'm sorry, I wasn't at the brick wall. I was here in Ontario, and I was speaking about when I'm at the brick wall at the Fontana Lewis Library that says Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. Upon my arrival, where I'm showing you, the light source is not present all day long over the Fontana Lewis Library, and same time over the B&G Plaza, over every location, at the same time over everyone. In other words, it's not the case. It's remaining over me as I go to that route. That's why it's remaining over my head as I arrive there. It's not already in that relative direction. And you have what is the light source that is present over my head at 11:41. And I also documented what is 5 p.m. standing at that same brick wall at 5 p.m. The light source, which is maintaining the same exact perfect alignment with me in the city of Fontana. Let me be clear. Today I remained in the city of Ontario at the property for the same exact property for a major chunk of the day. That is 7:49 p.m. until after 12 p.m. I'm sorry, until after 11 a.m. The light source is remaining over me from 7:49 a.m. I have done a lot between these early hours, and a lot of my documentation you'll see is premised on the morning, where I'm going in the morning, where I start, and then where I go. And I'm showing you as I am at wherever venue I'm at, I step out and I'm showing you the light source is still here. And that's the whole point. I'm like, this is not the sun. That's the whole point of my documentation. Today, during a majority of the hours that I'm at the Ontario Town Square early in the morning, 7:49 p.m. until after 11 a.m. That's in excess of 4 hours right there, and the light source remains central over my head. Now, there are a couple of things that you're going to pay attention to. The light source is over my head, and I'm reminding you about what is a specific time for, as I'll use Fontana as an example, 11:41 a.m. Today, I came from the Ontario Museum. I walked straight up the block, that is north up the block, to the Ontario Town Square, where I remained. And this is a matter of video documentation. The light source is not possibly remaining over me while I'm on a bus headed toward Fontana. I'm showing you what is the movement of that light source when I'm on said public transportation. The light source is moving, remaining over me, following, in other words, as I go to that city, as I go to that venue. The light source is over my head as a matter of documentation at 11:41 a.m. on the property. Whereas today I walked north up the block from the museum, and I am remaining at the Ontario Town Square as of 7:49 a.m. Not only is this not possible that it's coexisting with regard to the conduct that the entity is going through with that which is not the sun, maintaining this personalized presence in its zenith perfectly and aligned with me above my head, while I am today remaining in the city of Ontario. Yet I have documented my departure from the city of Ontario, my presence on public transportation, the maintenance of this fake sun, necessarily a fake sun, that remains over my head as I'm not only on the bus. Then I get off the bus and I walk from the Metrolink train station in Fontana to the Fontana Lewis Library. The fake sun is remaining over my head at the same time. That is not coexisting with what I documented today, as I remain walking from the museum to what is the Ontario Town Square, and I remain here for the series of hours. Okay, so I want to be clear, that is something that you're paying attention to. The entity is stalking. This is blatant stalking, and it is literally not only based on the times I'm showing you, it's also impossible because you're going to pay attention. The very little traveling that I did today, the great amount of travel that I did when I went to Fontana Lewis Library, and then I used the same time, 11:41. I have traveled to Fontana. Today, I have not traveled to Fontana. I stayed on the same, literally, strip of a block. I went from the museum to the Ontario Town Square. 11:41 a.m., the light source is over my head. 11:41 a.m., the light source is over my head in Fontana as well. This is impossible also. It is not maintaining central presence over my head in that same position in its zenith, despite the fact I am in two different cities at the same time. It is also not the actual sun while I am remaining inside of both, for example, as I go from, for example, the Ontario Town Square and I walk to the Stater Brothers, the Ontario Village Shopping Center. You see the light source that remains directly over my head. When I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library, where's the light source going? It's not coexisting. It's not over some parking lot in Ontario, over the directly over my head in the parking lot, as I showed you, as Amazon Prime engaged in what is a real-time reaction to my documentation of what is the harassment by that commercial actor acting on behalf of the people, flying over my head while the fake sun at 12 p.m. on the dot is over my head. Not coexisting with what I'm showing you, the presence of that light source, the maintenance of that light source. And how do you know it's maintained? Because as I documented today at 5 p.m., I also documented at Fontana Lewis Library, 5 p.m. upon my exit at that same brick wall on the sidewalk outside of the Fontana Lewis Library. The light source is maintaining perfect alignment with me while I'm standing on that property at that same brick wall where I stood at 11:41 a.m. before and documented. And this is relevant to the same time of year. Okay, so you're talking about not only down to the minute and hour. This is the same time of year, so it's the same season. We're on the same time schedule, and the light source is present at 5 p.m. where I am looking above the brick wall. The orange colored light source is just lowered in elevation in perfect alignment with my head. Okay. The light source is remaining at the Ontario Town Square where I did not travel outside of the city. In fact, I went from the Ontario Town Square to Stater Brothers, which is west on Hull Boulevard in the city of Ontario. And it remained over my head the entire time. I went back to the Ontario Museum to show you the fake sun at 1 in the afternoon, after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I came right back to the Ontario Town Square. That is not coexisting with being present anywhere in the city of Fontana. The conduct is that the only way that you would, and it's not a reconciliation, but the only thing that you can say, actually, you can't even say that. But let me be clear. It is implausible, in other words, to suggest that the sun is present over everyone's head at the same time, everywhere that you are, including the venue of the Fontana Lewis Library and the I'm in the city of Ontario. But again, I'm just using that as an example because at the same time I'm at the Upland Public Library. I'm inside of that building. I'm showing you what's the light source over my head as I'm showing video through the roof, through the back window of that library that's facing the Carnegie Library. Hello, that's 10:09 a.m. Where was I at 10:09? Showing you the demons that are going to federal prison, the Ontario Police Department, who are engaging in federal stalking at the Ontario Town Square. That video at 10:05 in the morning. You're talking about what is relevant. 10:02 a.m. I'm standing in front of the house at Pearl Street in Upland, California, documenting the people of the state while the state's stalking by helicopter. At 10:05 a.m., I am showing you, I've documented before, the state's fake sun over me at the sidewalk at the Upland Public Library upon my arrival. All right. The light source is over me at 10:06 a.m. when I'm in the city of Ontario where I am today. And it's not over the Ontario Town Square field. Well, it is positioned directly over the edge of the 280 North Lemon Apartments as I am standing at the entrance facing what is the Ontario Town Square area. That location is diagonal to the entrance. It's not over that field. Pay attention to January 22nd, 2022. It's not over the field like it is today where I'm standing in the field at the Ontario Town Square. It's over the 280 North Lemon Apartments as the entity customarily placed that light source upon my going to that venue of the Ovid Family Community Library where I remain subject to surveillance, which I remain subject to by that state facilitating venue today. They're in relevant position. They're engaged in the P.O.C. and they even have the nerve to come out and sit next to OPD. They'll find them. They're going to federal prison. There are those that are going to federal prison from the Ovid Family Community Library. Anyway, I just want to point that out to you. 10:05, 10:02, 10:06. This is time frames that I've specifically documented. 10 a.m. All right. And you see what is not only impossible to be over the house on Pearl Street and of Pearl Street in Lucerne. It's impossible to be at the same time maintaining central presence over my head. It's impossible to be over me also in the parking lot of the Fontana Lewis Library at 10:02, which is what I captured, documented before. It's impossible at the same time to be over me while I'm documented again my presence at the Upland Public Library as I'm walking on the sidewalk about to enter. The fake sun is remaining in alignment. 10:06 a.m., which is where I was. I wasn't at the library, but I'm near the library, the Ovid Family Community Library, but I'm standing on the property of the Ontario Town Square. You see the light source is right over my head at the field. It's not coexisting. It's not the same as when it's over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. When I'm standing at that entrance, you see it specifically over that apartment building. That's where the entity always placed it. When I am sitting in front of the Ovid Family Community Library, though, facing the McCarthy construction site, and which is what I pointed out this morning, there's no time, there's no migration of the actual sun that's going to make that very precise and weird angling to be somehow over the roof of the Ovid Family Community Library by 9:55 a.m., which is what I've documented before. That only happened because I was sitting there in front. All right. And that's talking about what is specific to stalking, moving that light source to keep it over me and move it as I move based on where it is that I'm moving. That's how you're keeping central presence over my head from city to city. And it's not occurring at the same time. It's following with the light source. That's how it's happening all the time, everywhere that I go. The actual sun is not maintaining central presence over my head everywhere I go. And nor is it occurring over everyone's head everywhere that we all go all the time, over every place. You clearly see that when the light source is keeping in alignment with me and I'm leaving from the B&G Plaza, it's not remaining over the B&G Plaza all day. It's not. It's necessarily remaining over me as I go into the city of Fontana or as I go into the city of Pomona. It's leaving from that location. It's very precise. It is exclusive. It is also speaking to what is the targeted individual and the difference between that status and the demon possessed who are targeting you with this demonic system that is centered on what is maintaining a deliberately maintained environment. This is engineered light. This is a light source. This is speaking to also the demon possessed. This is understanding demonic activity and understanding what is witnessing the supernatural. And as I pointed this out today, again, I captured video at 5 p.m. and I'm showing you first of all, the light source remained over the Ontario Town Square all day long. There is no point where it is remaining over all day all morning, okay? 7:49 until after 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I didn't leave until after that video that I captured at 11:41 a.m. Okay, so there is no point where the light source is also somehow maintaining presence and everybody at the same, because this is what you would necessarily be suggesting, and it's an impossibility. It's not the case. That it's somehow maintaining presence over everyone at the same time, and it's also, while it's physically here, I'm capturing it as a matter of video documentation, as a matter of record, but at the same time, it's also appearing to be moving over everyone at the same time, and it's also over and en route by anybody that's driving to, perhaps taking the same route that I did, going to the Fontana Lewis Library during the same time. No, that's not. And it's absurd. The light source remained right here over the Ontario Town Square, in direct opposition with what I just documented yesterday when I'm already in the city of Upland. I'm sitting in front of the Veterans Monument. I arrived there during the 8 o'clock hour. Okay, the fake sun is right over my head, which it's clearly there. You're dealing with the demonic, and I was letting you know this is how you're dealing with the demonic. You're dealing with a psychopath, and you're cognizant of that. You're dealing with what are those who are not accustomed to being caught red-handed, thinking that you can engage in what is the demonic, engage in evil, engage in lying, and because you are literally engaging in criminal activity with the government, and it is on behalf of, you're a puppet of Satan, and you think Satan is going to, in other words, provide some sort of way where you can, no, we're not doing that. We know that you're demon-possessed. We know that this is literally the conduct of the demon-possessed in an entirely demonic environment. That inclusion of the supernatural is directly relevant to the criminal conduct. So you're aware of this. Okay, you're talking about what is supernatural. This isn't the sun. So this is no ordinary criminal activity. These are not ordinary criminals. They're all demon-possessed. These demon-possessed criminals are going to federal prison. You think you're going to engage in intimidating someone in their face. That's what the Ontario Police Department did today, and this is what they continue to do. Those demons were pacing around last night and then came here in the same vehicle, 10006, that psychopath driving around back and forth in Engineer Light last night. Okay, you're talking about the people of the state that engage in an ongoing molestation of your person while the psychopaths know that their secret is out. Your demons, that's why that directed light is occurring, because it's an absolute impossibility. You're under what I've already shown is not possibly the sun. You are, in other words, surrounded with that evidence. You will in no way engage in intimidating an American citizen that's documenting the government while they suspect and are documenting what is surveillance that they remain subject to, which is a threat to their life and their liberty, without going to federal prison. You will be going to federal prison for that. That's exactly what they engaged in at the farmers market today. That is an impermissible threat. That is the conduct of a demon-possessed psychopath. That's what you need to understand. And that's why that which is an impossibility, a scientific impossibility. There is no circumstance where you can reconcile that. You can't address it. There's nothing you can say. You're talking about what is none other than my documentation showing what is the light source that is not possibly the sun. You are also witnessing, while I'm documenting that, the ongoing impermissible threat. This is Satan itself. Guess what? All of Satan's minions, they're going to be dealt with. Okay? That determination is called criminal. It's called unlawful, and it is impermissible. So impermissible, you will be going to federal prison. Okay? So like I said, the entity engaging in with this ongoing stalking while it's monitoring that documentation, and I'm showing you the way in which you're going to address this demon-possessed population that wants to continue engaging in surveillance, threatening your life, harassing and intimidating you, and then doing it in your face. No, American citizens will not be subject to that. You will summarily be placed into the cage that you belong. You're a demon-possessed freak and criminal anyway. I happily put you away, but I will do it based on your criminal conduct. That is documented. As a matter of documentation, the Ontario police engaging in what is an unlawful threat. They are present under the fake sun. I mean, glaring. I caught them cheesing. You can stand at the table. I'm gonna send you to federal prison behind that Kodak moment that we had. They're going to federal prison. Okay, it's an unlawful threat. The actual sun is not present. That which is not the actual sun is relevant to what is demonic and criminal that I remain subject to. Surveillance. This is engineered light covering all the grounds. So they're walking around the farmer's market. These demons are monitoring all of them. And they're calling it nothing other than a farmer's market. The entity engages in what is the threat to your life and what is an ongoing threat to your liberty and what is an ongoing act to terrorize and intimidate in plain sight. It is a new day. You will not engage in that without suffering the very severe penalties. And many are going to federal prison for that. And I mean that. You're talking about what is the ordinary targeted individual who does not know the law, doesn't know their rights, doesn't even understand what they are subject to. They see freak weirdos that are walking around in circles, maybe driving around in circles around them, all kind of weird light. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what these freaks are doing. You're threatening, you're terrorizing them, you're harassing them, you're bullying them, you're kidnapping them. All right, and you're engaging in whatever it is that the entity is doing to one who is, perhaps not so informed with regard to what's going on around them spiritually and what's going on with regard to their rights, while you're subject to surveillance by a government. Okay, that's engaging in all manner of criminal conduct including the demon possessed in that position, you will go to federal prison for that. And that's necessary as a matter of policy, because this is the criminal conduct that's coexisting with being in your face. This is literally the criminal, the murderer, in other words. This is the murderer that's holding the knife up to your neck and smiling and thinking because they wore a nylon over their face and nobody knows who they are, that they can stand out in plain sight and engage in what is at the farmer's market selling butcher knives, right? And smiling and taking pictures with people, holding a knife, tantamount to holding a knife up to your throat and threatening you and doing it in plain sight and thinking that because it is at a farmer's market, because it is non-suspect, because they're not directly addressing you, because they're there selling butcher knives to everyone else who wants to buy them as well. I want to be clear, that's an unlawful threat. If you're understanding the picture that I'm drawing, you're talking about what is communicating that threat by virtue of your identity, by virtue of what is the system of public corruption, and you're doing it in plain sight. You want to communicate that threat. You want to go to federal prison. And that's exactly what I documented again today. All I'm doing is spelling out what is the policy for that which has been done as a matter of an ongoing pattern. Law enforcement are necessarily dealt with in this regard. This is a matter of documentation. It's necessary as a matter of documentation. I am not just pointing to policy that I just want willing. No. This is, first of all, you got to understand what you're dealing with. You're dealing with Satan. You're dealing with the demon-possessed population that is very real. Everybody has to deal with this. You can disregard it all you want. Let me be clear. This is letting you know the demon-possessed are a population here. They are here. Now, you can't throw no holy water on them and cure them of that issue. And let me be clear. This is a population that let me be clear. Their real sentiment is one of hail Satan. Okay, they're waiting for the day where they can outright engage in that sort of expression to what is Satan. These are demons walking around in people, okay, where it's not going to be considered weird, like the Marilyn Mansons of the world. Like, they won't be looked at as freaks. But let me be clear, that's the time that they're waiting for. They can wait for all they want. What's going on right now is the fact that that population is no longer concealed. It's not a secret society. There's no concealed presence. You are able to know who is the condition of those who are around you, and it has nothing to do with knowing their names or their church attendance record or what year they were baptized. That has nothing to do with it. Did you know that? Has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with it. Okay, you can know the condition of those who are around you, and not only that, once you're aware of that condition, those people are engaged in criminal conduct around you, and they're doing it with the government. You're in a specific environment. That environment tells you about the condition of those around you, and you're subjected to a criminal system, which you can document and you can enforce your rights. And while you are documenting, you're talking about all the ways in which you are suffering that criminal system. You're talking about documentation, which will result in government actors and third parties going to federal prison. You're not hiding behind a company name. They're not hiding behind any logo when they're in a plane engaging in terrorism. Whoever is head of aviation, whoever is making those, they will go to federal prison. Oh, it's going to come down on someone. You are going to federal prison. You're not hiding behind that company name. This is how the government's doing it, and you are necessarily strategically breaking down every single link. You want to go to federal prison? Keep it up. That's exactly what is necessary as a matter of policy. You're not hiding behind any company name. You're not hiding behind any logo. You're not hiding behind any duty that you're using under the guise of that company name. It's ongoing facilitation. You want to facilitate the government's threatening of the lives of American citizens who are surveilling them in violation of their constitutional and human rights. You want to facilitate. You want to go to federal prison, period. Period. All right, so this is relevant to what I'm showing, the fake sun. No, it is not at the same time over the Fontana Lewis Library until the time of exit at 5 p.m., visible over that brick wall, and also while I'm standing at the same time at the Ontario Town Square at 5 p.m., and I'm showing you the demons that are with the company Southwest Airlines. Let me tell you, those that are at the controls, flipping those nodules, making those decisions. So the aviation commissioner, whatever their title is, they're going to federal prison for that. Okay, I'm documenting, and the ordinary American citizen does not have to know that level of detail. The government's engaged in intricate criminal activity. All you have to do is identify the company. That's all you have to do is document the logo. Okay, because you're bringing it down to the table for the ordinary person to enforce their constitutional rights, and this is inherently unfair while the government is targeting you. All right, and this is being subject to it, understanding the law, and then also understanding the ways in which the entity thinks that it is so big, you'll never be able to identify, like, you're flying over me and I'm not going to know who's flying. I got to know you're. No, you don't. No, you do not. You do not. I don't need to know that particular demon-possessed criminal who was flying Amazon Prime over my head today. But I tell you what, they're going to federal prison for that. I guarantee you. And those who don't want to go to federal prison, then I suggest you stop providing it to the company, to the state of California, because that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. So you're documenting what are the entity engaging in that pattern of conduct, engaging in that ongoing terrorism while you're threatening the life, and demons take joy in that. All right. Let me see. Joy is antithetical to the notion of a demon. Demons are actually miserable creatures. They don't even like themselves. You're talking about what is Satan. Satan is a spirit. Satan is occupying people. All right. That spirit occupies person. Satan takes pleasure in that. That's a better word. It's more precise. Satan takes pleasure in threatening and inciting fear and in terrorizing, and in harassing. Let me be clear. That same demonic, that same twisted and demented appetite is what's going to land them in federal prison. Them being those minions that are here in the natural with that spirit. You go into federal prison for that. All the ways you want to engage in what is the impermissible threat. All right. The government does not have permission to engage in surveillance, and it shall not, without suffering that consequence of federal prison for a prolonged period. And when I'm saying the government, I mean the people of the state who are the vicarious aspect of that same exact entity. They're in the shoes of the government. This is a criminal contract. You are in the shoes of the government. The government shall not engage in what is surveilling you. We never agreed to that. That's not what we agreed to. And while you want to do that, engage in an ongoing impermissible threat, you do that by virtue of continuing the pattern of conduct. You're monitoring the documentation. You're engaging in threatening one to their face. This is as plain as these minions walking in the bathroom. No. You don't have that right. You are a sex offender. You are the government. The government doesn't have the right to walk up in the bathroom. You're stalking and surveilling me. They're doing the same thing in plain sight under the fake sun in the glaring light of day. All right. And you think that you can do that in plain sight? No, you cannot. You go ahead. It's going to be documented, and you will be going to federal prison as easily as you think that you can do that in plain sight. That's as easily as you will wind up in federal prison. It's an impermissible threat. This is speaking to and addressing the criminal system of the government that's existing in plain sight. It is the way in which you are addressing what is public corruption. That same sex offender has no right in the bathroom, let alone listening and surveilling you in the bathroom. But then you have the audacity to walk in the bathroom. This is what I've been documenting. All right, these freaks, demon-possessed, sex-offending stalkers walking in the bathroom. Okay, it's the same thing they're doing outside in farmers market. Sitting next to you, they're stalking you. They're stalking on behalf of the state. So this is how audacious it is, and this is how it is like absurd to me. And so you address that with no nonsense type policy, because you are dealing with the government. You're dealing with the government that has gone way outside of its borders, way outside. All right. It is literally a government that is too big. And unfortunately, you're talking about what is a government and a people, essentially, at the end of the day, a nation that is not built to last. It's not. It never was. But I'm being like, this is destruction of its own. It's inevitable. It's unfortunate. But anyway, with regard to the ordinary American citizen, you're talking about what you shall not be subject to. And so not subject to without. This is something with regard to systematic infliction of inhumane suffering, that which I advocate on behalf of for federal policy, because there is a lot that Title 18, Section 2261A, when you're subject to interstate stalking by the government, that is not addressing what is terrorism. It's not addressing what is a matter of public corruption. When the government is the one that's engaging in interstate stalking, there is a whole body of law that needs to address the ways in which the government is doing that, and the ways in which the government seeks to obstruct justice, as you are made aware that the government is doing that to you. Okay. So anyway, it's 5:44 p.m. and that is all directly relevant to what I documented. The fake sun that remained over me. I did not walk east down Hope Boulevard. You notice the fake sun was over me while I'm at State Street and Bonneview last Sunday. I didn't go that direction. At 9:49, guess where the fake sun was? Right here over the Ontario Town Square. Right here. Oh, guess what? When I'm at the Mercy House property, as I was on February 4th, 2022, with the Ontario Police Department, pursuant to the criminal summoning by the Ovid Family Community Library, who were waging false assertions, that's a federal crime. Right, while they're engaged in that, you're talking about going to federal prison. All right, long story short, February 4th, 2022, and I'm at Mercy House at 1:02 p.m. Remember, I captured that on video for you. Guess where I was at 1:02 p.m.? The fake sun's right over me at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. After we remained for a series in the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, in case you forgot, is where I woke up this morning. That's where I showed you video at 7:27 in the morning. Okay, this is the entity that is engaging in following me everywhere that I go and remaining where I go. You are talking about what is dealing with this determination to engage in obsessive stalking, which is a terrorizing threat. The people that are the people who surround the people of the state of California, the government, engaging in what are a multiplicity of criminal acts, which is ongoing facilitation of that unlawful system. It is called what is the impermissible threat. You're talking about engaging in that in plain sight today, which I documented, and that is the very documentation with which any ordinary American citizen, targeted individual that is documenting the government where you suspect you are subject to surveillance, as I've shown you the symptoms of that, you're talking about what is federal prison. All right. So currently it's 5:46 p.m. This is P.O.C, the entity engaging. I read those license plates. These minions are here with engaging in what is activity creation. Understand the significance of what they're doing. Everything they're doing, these are demons. Laughter, running around with their little children. You saw those Asian females. They are moving in engineered light. They do it every time I'm starting to record video. They start doing it, which is crossing paths while I'm on the internet, and they're slowing down my connection, trying to stop me from uploading my pictures, trying to stop me from uploading my podcast, monitoring the whole time. You're looking at what are demons in the natural. They are Asian women. Satan doesn't have a race. You need to get beyond that. Okay, I both mention it because you need to understand that principle. Satan doesn't have a race. You're dealing with the demon possessed. Second of all, I also address race because you need to understand the false narratives you've been told about, especially here in California. Black lives matter. Okay, this black women and men today, as I was pointing them out in my video, and I do it like that on purpose because I don't hold any bars. All right. So I'm going to speak the truth, and I'm going to speak it very loudly. You have what is, and also because they're just generally disgusting creatures to me. You have what is the fake sun. These minions are over here monitoring, and they're of the black race engaging in what is narratives to you on television, talking about Black Lives Matter. Those black minions were over here monitoring me with law enforcement. That's what you saw. Okay. And they're the same ones talking about, oh, we need to, we're suffering from their demons and they're monitoring together. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Okay. This isn't any camaraderie based on race. This is actually spiritual warfare. And let me tell you something. Race is nothing but a distraction to you and I in the natural, wanting you to be focused on the surface. It's deeper than that. Okay, so anyway, it's currently 5:47 p.m. This is P.O.C at the Ontario Town Square. And let me point something else out to you, as I've also shown you. Not only is this not the sun, as I'm pointing out, again, remember I was here, I was there, I was here, I was over there, I was in that city. Not only of the fact that I was there, you remember you saw the fake sun remain over me as I was en route to over there. All of this that I'm going through. All right, that I'm reminding you about while I'm showing you the fake sun remaining at one position today, literally all going around the block. The Ontario Museum to the Ontario Town Square to the Ontario Village, back to the Ontario Museum, back to the Ontario Town Square, where the light source engages in what is setting. And I'm showing you the directed light. So the entity engaging in this conduct, don't forget the P.O.C. The only reason why it's remaining here setting, because this is Satan that is present through the environment. So you're remaining wherever I remain. Remember, if I were to get in a vehicle and drive anywhere, that fake sun will immediately depart from remaining as though it's going to set right here at the Ontario Town Square. Okay, it will engage in what is continuing its movement to remain in close proximity to me, and then engage in continuous to acting like it's going to set there, wherever it is that I move to. So that is, if I walk to, just like you saw from the video, as I'm capturing the demons of Southwest Airlines, I walk to the amphitheater. You can see the difference in the position. The light source is moving as I'm walking across the field to the amphitheater, show you that directed light that has the shadow of trees appearing in it that is speaking to. Understand what that's speaking to. Where I'm standing at 5 p.m., the light source is in alignment with me while I'm closest to the clock. I'm showing you a square of directed light that's on the wall in the depths underneath that amphitheater. That is absolutely impossible light. Okay? Impossible light. It's nothing other than that demonic pattern of touching light, with touching surfaces with light. That's engineered light. Okay? You see shadow of trees and leaves in it. The light source is hovering, remaining visible over the storefronts, including Herradura de Oro, okay? And you're talking about what is supposed to be the shadow of trees as the light source is visible, and I guess it's at such a downward trajectory in that shadow of the tree, which is on the sidewalks of the Ontario Town Square. Pay attention to that. That's impossible light. It's the creation of what is dynamic light, because the leaves are serving what is ongoing, the wind, right? The trees are moving around. That's creating dynamic light as that engineered light is touching on the depths of the inside of that amphitheater wall. But that's impossible light based on the position. It's touching the inside wall underneath that amphitheater. That's impossible. Secondly, it's based on the position. That's not the sun that's here. And also while I'm at the Upland Public Library, inside of that Upland Public Library, and also while I'm in Fontana at the Fontana Lewis Library, looking at what is supposed to be the sun setting in alignment, that's not the sun. Also, it was here at the Ontario Town Square as of 7:49 in the morning. That's not the sun, any way you want to flip it, okay? None of that is the sun. And you're also looking at what is directed light. Okay, so that is underneath the amphitheater. Now, my point is, as I walk from what is the large clock toward the Ontario Town Square, you can see in the video the fake sun has moved as I move. Now, while I'm walking from the big clock where I'm sitting to the Ontario Town Square to show you this engineered light underneath that amphitheater, I am walking in the direction that is south across the field. The light source is moving south in alignment with me. You see it closer to what is the south end as opposed to where I'm standing in front. I'm standing in front of the staircase. Or I capture Southwest Airlines flying over me. The light source is in alignment where I'm nearest the clock. You see in the next video where I'm going toward the directed light underneath the amphitheater, you see the light source is clearly moved. It's moving in alignment with me. These are the details you're paying attention to as well. Okay. Of course, the glaring thing you're talking about, it is not nowhere in Fontana. It literally remained over the Ontario Town Square and then set in alignment with me at the Ontario Town Square. My larger point is you can see the migration as I walk through the amphitheater to show you that directed light underneath that amphitheater, inside of the depths of that amphitheater. And the other thing is, don't forget, the entity is only engaging in aiming as though and it's sad. It's not even an act. I mean, this is the revealing of a system. It's literally an admission. I mean, because it's asininity. It is not only is it asininity, now you're getting to understanding they're going to federal prison. That's where we're at now. Okay. That's where we're at. You're going to federal prison. This is necessary as default policy. The government, as you see, the jig is up. This whole operation is entirely satanic and it's criminal. You want to engage in continuously terrorizing an American citizen, the ordinary American citizen, that documents this for, you're going to document it, okay? You're documenting for a prolonged period. Oh, you're going to federal prison for that. That's no joke. It's not funny. I mean it. That's why I'm laughing, because that's how serious I am. This is necessary as policy. The ordinary targeted individual, the American citizen, the ordinary targeted individual shall not be subject to that ongoing threat to your life, as I have been establishing the precedent, the reality of this system. The next one, all right, is not going to go through that. It is necessary as a matter of policy. You see how Satan conducts itself. And by Satan, I'm referencing the environment. You see this ongoing stalking with a light source that's clearly not the sun. Doing it day in and day out. It's clear that that's not the sun. You lost a long time ago. Okay? Because I'm showing you and I'm revealing and I'm encountering what is Satan itself. And that's exactly why I'm speaking the way I am. All right? But let me be clear. It's also, you're witnessing how Satan acts through the people of the state. They're holding up their this is all intentional. And this is what I'm pointing out to you. They're holding up their little Asian babies, their little white babies, while they're anticipating, I'm going to turn around and show you the camera of these demons, the Ontario Police Department, but they're all demons. Okay. But let me be clear. Those demons were posing. They were posing, but there's nothing persuasive about that. I have already told you what you are dealing with, and you will in no way be deceived. Okay. You are talking about engaging in chicanery with directed light inside of the Upland Public Library. First you see it, now you don't. It's not even the sun in the first place. Okay, so you're talking about that's understanding how Satan conducts itself. This is what you're dealing with, a psychopath. All right, you want to engage in posing. You're not in any way helping. You're not looking any less of a stalker. You look like the psychopath you are. Okay, that's what they showed themselves while they're holding up their babies, stalking, molesting, and terrorizing me. Okay, that's what they were doing. And how do you know that? Let me show you, because as soon as I go over to the opposite side of the same street, I said, don't be deceived by that. They're monitoring, they're stalking, and they're using their children. Those are the same demons driving by, aiming directed light inside of a vehicle where I am sleeping, where they are stalking the same. While I am sleeping outside or in any hotel room, stalking the same. I showed you economy and you saw that directed light. It is literally the personification of Satan itself, the stalkers that are the people of the state. That directed light was creeping in all over the walls, on the ceiling. Okay, impossible light activity. I was subject to surveillance there. It's not just economy inn. I documented that at Mayfair Inn. Absolutely impossible light. And guess what? The center of the universe around that hotel while I am staying there. That's the P.O.C. This is already heavily documented. You don't forget that. Okay, there is no getting around. They're not persuading anybody while you're holding up your white face or your Asian face demon children that you are using them as activity creation, using them to sweeten the appearance of what is evil that they're engaging in with law enforcement today. And I reminded you of that. Don't be deceived by that. And all I had to do was show you these demons in action. And what do you see? By that ongoing scene out of hell while they're driving by in the shade, while I'm showing you the fake sun over me at the United States Postal Service while I'm standing beside 123 West Hope Boulevard. You see all that directed light. That's a scene out of the pit of hell. That's the same minions that you saw this morning holding up their babies as though they have some form, like they are engaging in anything other than what is the pattern of conduct. I'm not sitting out here making this up. You can't even make this up. All right, that's evil, okay? That's what the face of evil looks like. Satan doesn't have a race, okay? Satan doesn't have an age. Satan doesn't even have an alibi, okay? Satan doesn't have a legal argument. Satan doesn't have a leg to stand on. You're talking about what is federal prison. That's exactly what the Ontario Police Department engaged in. That is an entirely malicious and despicable, nauseating scene that you saw today while they are engaging in state surveillance and terrorism. And all I do is walk outside across the street. Guess what? It's the same entity molesting, a scene straight out of the pit of hell. All of that directed light all over, touching and terrorizing while I'm documenting their criminal pattern of conduct. Okay? That's the P.O.C. That's the entity that's holding up their babies as though it's some form. They're not. It's not. And you want to engage in that, like I said, you will lose those children. You are a threat to them and the American citizen that you are terrorizing and stalking. You will very well lose those children. Let me be clear. The pattern of conduct directly brings into question the state of mind of the demon-possessed who are engaged in this P.O.C. That's what I'm revealing to you. These are psychopaths. All right, that psychopath is revealed through exactly what you saw today, standing at the crime prevention table, giving hugs while they're stalking and terrorizing. And they're literally sitting around, these are demons, waiting for me to turn my camera onto them. They know what I'm doing. I'm capturing the fake sun. I'm reminding you, don't forget, 7:35 in the morning, I'm already in the city of Upland. I'm at the Chase Bank parking lot. Hello, this is not the sun. And these idiots have the nerve to be here on camera. I'm going to put them in federal prison. All right, they're waiting for me to turn my camera onto them, posing in front of children. And let me be clear, I've already pointed out, these little demon possession doesn't have an age limit. It doesn't have a race. It doesn't have an economic status. It has nothing to do with that. I have documented, I have witnessed, I have been exposed to terrorism by demon-possessed children and their parents using them. Their parents using them to engage in sexual violence in the bathroom. It is demonic. That's what you're understanding. So I'm giving you as an example, you can hold up your little Gerber baby all you want. It doesn't matter. You're talking about, it doesn't matter with regard to what is the pattern of conduct. It's no distraction. And I've also told you, I have armed you with the information. You shall in no way be deceived by the enemy. The devil itself, using people. Okay? And you're talking about what is no persuasion. Those same minions have their kids, like I said earlier, in the back seat with their sippy cups in their faces while they are going around molesting my body, being predators, seeking me out, following me from intersection to intersection as I'm walking, or following me in the bathrooms while they are stalking and molesting me with directed light. There is no persuasion. There's no endearing or anything sweet or compassionate about that while they were holding up their kids while they're stalking together with the Ontario Police Department today. All right. And so that's what you're going to contrast that. You look at that this morning under the fake sun, and then you look at that video that I captured today on the same day, because it's the same exact entity. It's the same one. It's the same entity. So anyway, it's currently 5:58 p.m. This is P.O.C. at the Ontario Town Square. Just a couple of analytical notes. It's P.O.C. All right, I want to document the stalkers and the sex offenders that are engaging in surveillance at the Ontario Town Square. I did take a picture of what is my shadow that is on both sides of me. This is impossible light activity. I'm being molested. I'm also being molested with directed light while these demons that are engaging in surveillance around the property of Ontario Town Square and the Wells Fargo, while light is shooting the same big clock that I'm sitting at. You have what is inexplicable light touching on the brick wall around me and touching onto my person as I am sitting there and engaging in maintenance of presence over here in this location. This is license 5YAG160. This demon is stalking in the path. This is license 8TCN 974. Monitoring with these, I believe they appear to be, two overweight people sitting in the vehicle, engaged in prolonged loitering while my body is being touched with impossible light across the field. They are monitoring with communication devices, turning on the headlights, which is another method of molestation. And they are monitoring while the entity is touching me with directed lights while another demon enters the parking lot of Wells Fargo. It is currently, by the way, 8:11 p.m. Again, that's license plate 5YAG160. This demon, I'll get his license plate. I already read 70SC971. Let's see which we, okay. Get this license plate. 8PCT727. All right, I'm going to prosecute them. Let me be clear. Let me break something down for you. These demons that are engaging in this ongoing terrorism, this is the same Ontario Town Square. This is the same venue, in other words, the same criminal pattern of conduct underway, where those two police officers engaging in what the Ontario Police Department agency is routinely engaged in together. They're demons. They're engaging in sexual molestation that has continuously been underway, especially as I'm documenting what is, I believe her name is Samantha or Sabrina, the sex offender of the Ontario Police Department, whose images I captured with the Ontario Police Department Officer Hernandez. Those two, they're engaged in the same P.O.C. I just want to be clear, it's not changing. It was underway this morning while they were sitting there at a crime prevention table at the farmer's market. These demons engaging in this P.O.C. literally remaining around me at the Ontario Town Square. I want to document facilitation at Ontario Town Square, flickering light. All right, that's facilitation. It's called it's a method of creation of light activity. It is speaking to the ongoing P.O.C. and it's also demonic. That's terrorism. It's currently 8:12 p.m. And so I wanted to document that. Those are minions that are stalking in the path. So while I sit at the Ontario Town Square, for example, just on YouTube, you have minions, the people of the state that are engaged in ongoing surveillance. And so you have what is always present are people that are present around me, and they're monitoring with communication devices. They're present in the directed light. They're present while the state is stalking by aircraft and surrounding vicariously while the state is always stalking directly. The entity that acts as one single entity. So I just want to document that. Those are third parties that are present as I'm subject to that molestation, and that's terrorism. It's terrorism while you are constantly surrounded and touched with this engineered light, which is serving to monitor you. And it's also sexually violent. It's an ongoing sex offense. The entity that's stalking is always violating your person with this weird demonic light. Okay, and so that's what's happening while I'm sitting at this brick wall, and this is at nightfall. And I just want to be clear, Officer Hernandez and his female colleague, those demons that were here stalking today under the fake sun that was right over, were also engaged in an ongoing molestation. They were also engaged, and they are right now. I'm still documenting them. Okay, you're talking about what is conduct today, engaging in what is an impermissible threat, monitoring me and threatening me in my face while you're sitting at the farmer's market, and you're engaging in the P.O.C., you're going to federal prison for that. Okay, and I just want to make it clear, the pattern of conduct didn't stop. It was underway then, and it continues to be underway now. It is currently 8:14 p.m. This is P.O.C. License 8 PEV 160. 5 TPZ 599, 8 TTH 297, molesting. Eight BET 195, 8 WZN 622, 8 EKP 863, TJ TJT TJTJTJT. That's the license plate. 4 FWB 631. 4B 39558. 7KMH 341. 7FNZ 653. 7 VEX 705. So let me show you, this is a stalker. Took pictures of what are shadows that are upright on a wall in front of me at a distance. This is a stalker. License plate 8BQW143. And that's not only a stalker, that's a demon-possessed stalker who is monitoring what I'm doing on my phone. Okay, and I'm going to take a picture of what are the differing shadows. I have shadows going in opposite directions and also the shadow that is at a distance away from me on the side of this store. Okay, that's demonic, that's terrorism, that's directed light as I have referred to it. It's 8:17 p.m. All right, and that's the environment that remains on an ongoing basis 24 hours a day. Engineered light, while the people of the state are stalkers. They're demons that are stalking in that environment, monitoring with communication devices. This demon that's over here monitoring, while these venues are used, for which I will document 205 Ernesto's, the facilitating venue, flickering light. Stalking is 44986 and 2, using that car door as a means of audible activity. The street lights are coming on. I just took pictures of what are my multiple shadows on the buildings. This is a demon-possessed population monitoring, and the properties around using as a means of light activity. Hi, is this a barbershop? Oh, what's this? MMA? Oh, okay. At 207 MMA, there are a bunch of demons they're monitoring. The lights are coming on and off on the sidewalk and on the property, and he walks to the doorway. He's monitoring as well. This is 207 Laurel, I believe. At the intersection of B Street and Laurel. Yeah, I'm correct. 207 Laurel. This is facilitation. The property also, what is here? Ontario Public Employees, 202 West B Street. This is a facilitating venue. The lights are flickering on and off. This is a demon driving around in circles in directed light. License plate 6BFC 979. That's P.O.C. Well, let's call all these demons over here. This is directed light. While this demon is approaching, I'm going to document all these license plates over here. 8DVR 362. I bet you these are demons at a fake church. Engaging in demonic conduct, sitting around in demonic light, monitoring. Calling themselves an iglesia, minions of Satan, El Diablo. License plate 5CC C468. License 6WYW769. License 05399Z1. And they're all sex offenders. I'm going to prosecute every single last one of these minions coming out of what is a congregation of the demon possessed. 7 LOR 572. Molesting me while they're monitoring with communication devices. Sitting in front of what is a fake church. License 8HUL 968. Going straight to hell. Okay, serving Satan and calling yourself some sort of believer sitting up in. I just took pictures of what is across the street from this fake church. It's demonic. It's impossible light activity. And they're sitting outside on the sidewalk in directed light, calling themselves a church. 8J11639. You can't even genuinely lie to yourself about that. You're confronted with your own demon possession. 8NKPO21. It's pathetic. All of them sex offenders at that fake church, I'm gonna prosecute them. They're sex offenders. 8YFZ 638. I'm gonna prosecute every single last one of them. And their fake God is not gonna help them. I'm gonna prosecute them for real. That's terrorism and sexual violence that I'm subject to outside of the doors of an alleged church. 8AVT 215. 7YNF 927. It's 8:21 p.m. 48078K1. 6XSU 851. 6XXU 653. 8TCK 817. 4TTA 981. 7B 22499. Eight NHN 361. 7UBC 694. 7XR. Get the rest of this one. Hold on. 7XRZ 047. 8ULB 611. 8F74975. Demons. License 7UKP415. Sitting in their vehicle monitoring with the other demons using their hazard lights. License 8RRT081 engaging in surveillance. License 5VAN304, 8VKE299, 8ROR627, 6UEB234. This is the act of terrorism that I showed you earlier today under the fake sun, right across from the museum where I got up this morning. This demon on the curb in the red using their hazards. They're going to go into federal prison for that. This is terrorism. This is massive monitoring. 6K90770 and 39739U2. Alrighty, I captured what is that ongoing act of terrorism. This is the demonic conduct, and that's the pattern by the entity, a demon-possessed one engaging in massive state surveillance, the impermissible threat while they are threatening the life. And let me be clear, they continue to monitor the documentation. You will be going to federal prison for that. License 8NQZ358. There is no legal argument. They can get out, engaging, acting like their car is falling apart in the middle of the street. The engineered environment is present. I just showed you what are my multiple shadows. Surveillance is underway. There is nothing that you are engaging in other than the P.O.C, and you will be going to federal prison for that. It is currently 8:24 p.m. You're not going to engage in threatening the life of American citizens, which is exactly what that is, while you're facilitating massive surveillance by an entity, a government. License plate ATCM466, who is monitoring with those minions as well, following me as I'm going from place to place, following with methods of light activity, while freaks of nature, like the third party who was license plate rich, sitting around in their cars, following me as I'm going around, walking down the street, and you are talking about what is waging an impermissible threat while they're engaging in that terrorizing conduct. Entirely demented. You are going to federal prison. You're monitoring the documentation as well. 7HRU599 24536K1. And again, this is around the doors of all of these so-called churches. These are demons. And this is demonic activity. 4KLD861. Alrighty, this demon stalking in the path, sitting in front of what is a little market. Oh no, they're sitting in front of what is 210 North Vine, Building A, Unit A. Stalking with light in the path, license 48935X2. All right, license plate 6GML577, 5B10273, 6XJD430, 16339F2. They're all monitoring with this minion. Again, 48935X2. Engaging in what is stalking in the path with light. So, stalking in the path while I'm walking to any location. I have to be walking to the store. You have what is this ongoing act of maintenance of presence in the path, molesting, LLENITO. They're monitoring together. This minion is crossing path in reverse, waiting for me to walk by. As I do, that minion with the LLENITO is coming as with knowledge of where I'm at in order to touch with light. All right, I did take a picture of what is that third party stalking in the path. You're talking about what is that same engagement while monitoring the documentation. That's going to lead to what is federal prison. 7N67961, and this is a sex offender. They're engaging in predatory conduct, waiting for me to arrive, engaging in what is that ambush-like sexual violence, wanting to touch while stalking in the path. Okay, and also monitoring together. They're one entity engaging in that conduct together. Stalking in the path using hazard lights, stalking in the path while you're just keeping your headlights on is stalking in the path with light. 7ZMF460, it is an ongoing terrorizing threat that demons engage in everywhere you go. 5JPC846. License plate 8PKJ651. YCC642. Seven MRU632. BZ797, that's handicap. this demon. License plate 7WSL441. By the way, those demons on the grounds of what is First Christian Church, not an actual church. It's nothing other than a venue calling itself a church. Engaging in what is sexual violence. This is molestation by license plate 7ZME502. And this is license ALE285. Those minions on the grounds of First Christian Church, which is not a genuine church. It is nothing other than another venue, but I'm speaking to what is demonic activity and helping you understand demonic activity is occurring amongst those who call themselves religious, who call themselves spiritual, who call themselves whatever it is that you think is the direct opposite or what is impossible. It has nothing to do with that. You're talking about what is conduct that is identical. You're talking about what is conduct that is also criminal and conduct that is absolutely demented. All right, and I want to be clear with regard to the identification of that demon possession based on that outward conduct. All right, and that specific environment. Having 7DLH907, having what are multiple shadows around me appearing upright on the wall at a distance, having conflicting directions of shadows on the ground, that's entirely demonic. It is directly indicative of what is the condition of those who surround me and what they are doing. They're stalking altogether. All right, and this is demon possession. And this is occurring on the grounds of what supposedly churches. That's exactly what I just documented. Those sex offending group stalkers are demon possessed, and I am subject to the same exact stalking. These demons know where I am, who I am, and are targeting me together, okay? Engaging in maintenance of presence in the path, using their hazard lights. They know I'm walking down the street. They know that I'm coming. You're talking about what is waiting for me to arrive at a certain point in order to touch me with light. That's a conduct of a predator and a demon possessed stalker. Happening on the grounds of the churches, okay? It has nothing, there is no exception. All right, you also see that there is no exception with regard to the fake sun. The same engineered light remains during the day. All right, so I just want to document that. It's 8:30 p.m. and I will be including what are the names of all of these churches, their venues, and they will be prosecuted as what are terrorists subject to that same sexual violence, prosecuted and identified like every other venue. It's currently 8:30 p.m. 6RMK046, molesting. I am on the property of Ontario Village Shopping Center, which contains security cameras. Demons sitting in their vehicle, aiming their headlights. This is interstate stalking that you're witnessing, and terrorism. This is demonic activity that's underway that's being captured on surveillance cameras. Driving through the parking lot, sitting in the parking lot in their vehicles with their headlights on, engaging in what is parking in their parking spots. What looks, again, you're talking about on the surface. These are demons engaging in systematic maintenance of light and presence. Monitoring inside of this venue. This is an underage minion in the vehicle of the driver who left this third party who was under the age of 18 to engage in monitoring. 8TPA053, 8TVE445. This is the state flying over. I'm gonna capture this minion monitoring with the government. That is a molestation, that is terrorism, that is federal stalking. The underage minion is in the passenger seat. You see the driver approach. The entity is hovering over by aircraft. Directed light remains. That's license 8TPA053. Monitoring with the rest of these minions who fill the parking lot. Cockroaches swirling all around. That's plane and train activity. 8SJH800, 6WYZ137, 7HIA515. That is the government and the people of the state engaging in criminal conduct, which is also sexually violent and terrorism with those under the age of majority. That all of that is ongoing as I just documented that. License 6ZMH734. You're including those children and the use of surveillance with the communication devices. 8ZJN680. It's currently 8:33 p.m. And you're paying attention, the entity hovers, and again, this is nothing other than visibly appearing, following the entire time. Visibly appearing and then playing a tape of the sound of a train, a plane, well, a train too, but a plane as though it's taking off over the village. As I begin documenting what is the criminal activity of a minor under the age of 18, 8JLU006. I will be prosecuting those under the age of majority, such as Charlisa Kelly, All right, this is a demon-possessed teenager who engaged in federal stalking with the Fontana Police Department and the Kelly's family while I was subject to it in May 22nd, 2019. This is a minor knowing exactly what she is engaging in. It is federal stalking. You're talking about what is doing so in concert with the Fontana Police Department, who were monitoring me altogether, and I will be prosecuting her. You're talking about what is the criminal system underway, and you're seeing how the people of the state, law enforcement, the government itself, using those under the age of majority, which is also speaking to, let me be clear, terrorism and sexual violence. In the same way, when you're engaging in an orgy with those who are under the age of 18, you're a sex offender. You are sexually violating the target individual, and you are engaging in that sexual orgy, which is demonic, with an American citizen who has not consented to it because you're placing them under surveillance, and you're including those under the age of 18 in that sexually violent and predatory conduct. You will be prosecuted the same exact way, okay? And just like any other egregious sexually violent crime, 7 HUG 912. Those who are under the age of 18, much aware of what is the maintenance of presence and activity while they're in use of their communication devices, which is achieving the interstate stalking conduct. And those who are under the age of 18 will be engaging and will be prosecuted accordingly. I just want to be clear. Those are minions creating activity together. 7XC and 034. So I just want to break that down. License 5XMB156. Ontario Police Department crossing path while I'm speaking to the prosecution of Charlisa Kelly of the Kelly family from third-party facilitating venue Sunrise Church, nothing other than a meeting place for the demon-possessed, literally. It's not an actual church. UMP 335, that's a South Carolina license plate. As I speak to that, the Ontario police who are demons stalking the entire time, in the same way the demons that are stalking airplanes the entire time, choosing a specific moment based on what they're listening to me say or do, engaging in what is activity creation, engaging in what is an act of harassment while visibly crossing paths. So I just want to speak to that. It's relevant, and that's what I was pointing out. You hear the entity fly over by airplane the moment I begin documenting the criminal conduct with one under the age of 18. It's currently 8:36 p.m. And this is, again, the Ontario Village Shopping Center, 6 PSY 345. This is a demon stalking in the path, aiming light on the wall. This is the intent to harass and touch, molest with light in concert with Stater Brothers. 7WFL 397, 7RMT 253, and this is the sex offender, this overweight, triple chin, disgusting looking sex offender, license 8HUL 968, present to engage in bathroom monitoring me while my panties are down, in concert with the Ontario police, the demons that are flying airplanes and helicopters, stalking around, in operation for a communication device, aiming light onto the wall. This is a demon and a sex offender, license 8HUL 968, license 01510B3, license 8MWX 226, license 7L32991. It's 8:37 p.m. All right, this demon's license plate 97964K2, molesting at Vine and Hope Boulevard. Monitoring with Vote Valencia. Valencia is corrupt, okay? Valencia is a minion trying to run for Ontario mayor. License plate 8XNR558, 56777M2. Valencia is a minion, and those that are advocating on behalf of Valencia are out here engaging in interstate stalking while he is running for office. Okay, his office is a facilitating venue. The fake sun was over me while I was in front of that office today, and I was being molested with directed light. This one that's running for Ontario mayor, Valencia, is a minion. This is a demon-possessed stalker engaged in interstate stalking in the city of Ontario. All right, and that is criminal conduct. That one is holding up the sign for Valencia, which is also speaking to his being ill-equipped and unfit for any office while they're engaging in monitoring me and terrorism right now. It is currently 9:01 p.m. P.O.C. All right, Fiesta Motors, located at 220 Holt Boulevard. This is the venue that's engaging in what is massive facilitation. It is not different than third parties parking their vehicles beside me, using their hazard lights, threatening my life, facilitating the government and the people of the state to monitor with communication devices. The lights on the property of Fiesta Village engaging in ongoing flickering. This is also demonic communication of a threat. The entity that is monitoring my documentation as I documented Fiesta Motors. I want to be clear, every mode of facilitation that the entity engages in This is what the Ontario Town Square engages in, flickering light at the property. The property is off of Laurel and B Street. I was walking down the street. This is facilitation. That's why I'm pointing it out. You were talking about what is the prosecution, what is grounds of federal prison, using your property, using anything that you have at your disposal to engage in that massive facilitation by a government and an entity altogether to monitor, which is a threat to your life. It's an impermissible threat. And again, the entity is monitoring documentation. So this is a threat posed while it is aware that you know that you are being targeted by the government. That is grounds of federal prison, okay? It's the same for Rich's second jewelry and loan. This is the pawn shop. This is massive facilitation. You're talking about what is serving ongoing state surveillance. You don't have any form, and so you're understanding the ways in which this manifests itself, where government is placing you under surveillance as well. It's currently 9:06 p.m. This is Rich's second jewelry and loan. That's what it's called. This is P.O.C, the same facilitation, massive light activity. The demons that are the people of the state molesting me during the day with directed light. The state keeping a fake sun over my head. At nightfall, using properties, using vehicles, using signage, using everything they have to create that ongoing light activity as well. This is a terrorizing threat. It is facilitation. Ongoing surveillance is facilitated by this. It is 9:06 p.m. Third party 7HCY019. 8TAC032. They're monitoring to that light activity. All right, it's currently 9:06 p.m. This is P.O.C. 8PRA613. 8YHG120. BN48195 paper. Can't see the rest of them. It's 9:08 p.m. Directed light across the brick walls. We're here at Holt and G. The vehicles, as they're crossing the path, you have what is massive light activity. Metro 102 apartments are monitoring. That's why you have this massive light activity. And of course, the people of the state are monitoring. Doing so, and it's also demonic, all right? While it's terrorism, it's absolutely weird conduct by the demon-possessed. It's serving their criminal purposes there. It's massive monitoring. And by it, I'm speaking to the directed light that's all over this brick wall. Impossible light activity. License 8UHK661. This is the entity stalking by airplane right over the museum where I'm at. And I captured that in still images flying right over the side of the museum where I'm sleeping. Not just the fact that they're following at the museum, hovering over the Ontario Town Square where you see the fake sun over me. This is engineered light, stalking via aircraft, and stalking via aircraft with simultaneity to what I happen to be doing. That is documenting the people of the state. That is engaging in operation on my communication device. That is citing anything that the entity doesn't particularly like to hear, like how I'm going to prosecute, like how they're going to federal prison, etc. Flying right over me at the venue of the Ontario Museum. This is the entity following from place to place. This is what Southwest Airlines, Frontier Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines were engaging in today under the fake sun that remained over me for the duration of the day at the Ontario Town Square. This is what the entity is doing on a ceaseless basis, okay? And also I will show you the fake moon, which is right here in alignment with me at the museum. This is P.O.C. It's 9:17 p.m. This is the same, well, I don't want to say the same fake moon. This is the same conduct. This is not the actual moon, by the way, that's over me at I Street last night, where I'm documenting the entity, where I'm documenting engineered light, demons that are stalking with activity and stalking in the path. The same I Street where the fake sun was over me yesterday at I Street, as I captured in the morning, by the way. Walking north up Euclid Avenue, where I did not walk north of Euclid Avenue anywhere today, and the fake sun remained in Ontario over the property of the Ontario Town Square, by the way. The same fake moon that's over me when I'm in Fontana, where we're doing the day, you also have what is the fake sun. That's also how you are understanding what is not the sun and not the moon. I am the center of the universe for the demon-possessed population. And it's currently 9:18 p.m.